through YouTube videos while walking my dog looking for something to listen to, and I was like, what the fucking stupid video? Look at this stupid video. Look at this. I was like, God damn it. Why does everything have to be like this? I was like, look at this dumb, adults react to. I was like, oh, right, adults react to, right? You can't have just kids react to. Now it's got to be grandpas and grandma, and then it's got to be adults. We ran out of things to fucking react to your garbage.
Actually, I can start up a channel called animals react, like dog. I can just put dogs and stuff to watch stuff on YouTube and just see what their reaction is.
Janza,
Totally.
would you like me to send you an image of my current icon that with a transparent background?
I don't know.
We have what, 2C in here just now?
Yes, I'm looking at the layout.
You can, but I'm just gonna throw things everywhere. Basically, the point is it's a clusterfuck. All right.
Okay.
The B3 clusterfuck.
Yeah,
the
classic.
This is good. This is kinky. I don't have to go on Pornhub later on.
Clusterfuck. So
I don't have to go on Pornhub later on. No, then. That's great.
God. Well, I figured it would be neat to have, like, because I couldn't get scheduling to work right, and then I wasn't sure who was going to. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to say, let's open mic it. Anybody in the actual Discord that wants to jump in, they can. And they want to talk about a topic or react to something, fine, you know.
So, Volts, do you have to work tonight or not? Because you confused me on the schedule.
Yeah, because I'm already call your boss if you have to work.
Oh, okay. I
don't have to work tonight. I got called back early because of the weather.
Because you broke all the dishes. Instead of cleaning them,
no.
The trick I used to do is just break the dishes. When I used to have to wash dishes, I just broke the fuckers, and then you don't have to wash them.
There we go.
The restaurant I work at is basically a patio restaurant, and since there's rain, no one wants to be outside. They don't like to eat inside for some reason.
Oh, so you did an Indian rain dance to try to get out of work tonight. I see.
I can't.
I'm sorry. Is that not? That's culturally appropriating.
I couldn't update the title because it said clusterfuck.
Oh, cluster F asterisk asterisk K.
Right, but I had it all as one word. I guess it reads, F-U-C-K regardless, There we go. I updated it. The cluster F star CK, it was always meant to be. Perfect.
But I mean, if you guys are going to try to trigger me tonight, I'm just letting you know, man. I have a new perspective on life, man. I'm serious. It's just like
episode 57 of the B3 Gaming Cast. This is your host Janzer, and I have a lot of people in the chat.
Hello.
I'm not even going to introduce them. I've given up on introducing people.
Oh, there's no intros?
I don't know. If people listening don't know by now whose voice is who, that's a problem probably. But, oh well.
I'm Volts, the idiot.
I'm Graham.
Shit, I can crop.
Oh, man.
Wow. All right, so this is going to go to the worst intro.
It's the worst. Oh, it is.
That negative outlook. That person with the negative outlook is Janza.
What? That's bullshit. Don't be gamertroning me. Come on now. Jeez.
Sorry.
I thought I got.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, call me negative and whatever. All that. I was like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, kid. Shit.
Okay.
Not you.
I'm not.
Oh, we brought out the kid. Oh, that's bad.
Well, exactly, and that's the whole thing. I kept from saying that to him the entire time. I never referred to him as kid. All right.
Shut up, kid.
But I took all kinds of insults, and it was fine. I'm just saying.
There you go.
Man, Janzer. You're getting too old for this shit.
Yeah. What do you say to me? Shut up, old man. Shut up, Grandpa.
No. Volts, how do I download that thing that you want me to download here? Oh, God, that's huge. Okay, save image as. Okay, pictures. There we go. I'll try to do this while we're working. We have 109 Volts who is
Hi.
And we have Count back.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Because he can do whatever the hell he wants. So he's going to drop in whenever the fuck he feels like it.
Not really.
Typical,
only when I'm invited.
All old people. Just do whatever they want.
Oh, so you've been driving. You've been driving on the road recently, I see.
And that was Phil talking.
Here, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's like assholes just have no limitation or age. They just do.
It's true.
I had a taxi guy pull out in front of me today.
Whoa!
When he saw me coming,
that.
Pull out in front of me.
He pulled out when he saw you coming. I just don't want to hear these words together.
Well, sorry, Jason. It's the clusterfuck, so it's got to be in there.
True. Look at Volt's face on the screen
Then proceeds to see someone driving that he knows, stops.
Oh God!
So lets that person out. They both make the same left. They both make the same left turn as me, and then they proceed to stop and then pull his car next to the other car and block the whole road.
Was it an old guy?
Oh my God!
No, they weren't old. They were stupid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that transcends age. Yeah, because
and we're angry at
don't give a fuck if other people exist. Seems like
they don't give a chainsaw.
They don't give a chainsaw. That's right.
About anything. Yeah.
Well, when when you got one foot in the grave, it's kind of like, well, what the fuck you gonna do to me, huh?
Yeah, it's true.
Kill me? It's gonna happen at some point soon, anyway. So
I'm trying to proportionally.
Why do we have this floating
head?
Head
because Volt's.
Is that one of Voltz's?
It's his new drawing.
Cracked out drawing or something. Jesus, what is that?
Wait, hang on, Voltz is on crack.
Won't shift work?
No, it doesn't. I tried that.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. That's a problem with OBS.
Intervention for Voltz?
It's pretty close though to being proportional. If you think it should be thinner or what?
All right, hang on.
That's getting proportions. Maybe a little smaller.
Okay.
I need to know why Voltz is like behind me, just like in this menacing way.
He's behind both of us. Actually, he's covering up part of me because it's disrespect. He's like, I don't give a shit about this guy. Yeah. What do we video?
Your layout doesn't really go for like more than 3 icons. You know
it really doesnn. That's why I want to I'll put it over here with count. Yeah, there we are.
I did like that one drawing you made with that creepy chick under the bed. Volts. I think that was
really good, actually.
Yeah, I thought that was your best drawing. To be honest with you.
That was like a level of finish that I was like, where did this come from? Like I haven't seen you finish.
It was pretty fucking cool, man. It was it reminded me of the cover of like some kind of creepy children's book or something. You know what I mean? It's like to scare the shit out of some 7-year-old girl or something. I don't know.
Or
nightmares for the next 3 years.
That's true. Let's see here. Yeah. So, quick topic here to start something going. Microsoft's Beam renamed to Mixer. Huh? So they were all like, yeah, Beam, Microsoft bought out Beam.
Yeah.
And now it's called Mixer, right? Okay. So here's the thing. They have one cool option. It's co-op streaming, and it allows to have up to 4 streamers on one page. So for like Rainbow Six Siege or any of those multiplayer games.
Friday the 13th.
So instead of doing it ghetto style and going out to some kind of other website that you don't even know what it is and putting in 2 names, you have it legit.
Nice.
And the other thing about them, of course, is they maintain their half a second to 1 second delay, which is fucking amazing. What
do you mean ghetto style?
I mean exactly that. I mean that it's having lived in the ghetto, I could probably say what I know, what I've seen.
Janzer is
I just find it hilarious. Yeah. I'm questioning Janzer saying ghetto.
Well, that's like
the only one of us that actually came from the ghetto.
Male.
I can also say stuff like when I was doing like my design stuff, I was like, oh yeah, I mean we could do this, and I was like, oh yeah, we could ghetto shop it like that, but. People were like, "What?
I wonder why they got rid of you." Really?
Doing a shitty job, like it's like what is it? Jerry rigging? It's the non-Caucasian term for jerry rigging. It's the same thing. It's just kind of like, here, give me some of that tape over there, and who's got a bobby pin? All right, put that. It's MacGyvering shit together. Mm-hmm. The same
but
thing.
they maintain a nice delay between all the streams.
Well, yeah, because they got no fucking viewers over there.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, wait till they get a server load. wait till something happens. Yeah,
wait till that. But the thing is, it's Microsoft, and they got a shitload of money. They're not going to give up.
Or if they have to host an event, like if you host E3 or something, you get millions of people watching. It's like, whoa!
Or a Bungie Destiny reveal or some shit. Yeah,
right. Yeah,
that Angry Joe won't get invited to. Yeah.
Well, there's some other little things that they added, but they all are dumb and suck. But the articles were like, "Oh, this is the most amazing thing for streamers." All of it, everything else they mentioned was dumb. This is the only thing that was actually cool. You know, the like 4 screens on one, and that's just marginally cool.
That is
it's not like, oh my god, I need to go over there now because I get bits over here.
Yeah, for all of the downfalls of Twitch, it still is the best streaming platform. I mean, in my opinion, I think I mean, it's basically dominating. YouTube is garbage. You can't have any music or any bullshit. You know,
true.
If you have all the benefits on Twitch, why switch?
Well, there you go.
There you go.
And Twitch will integrate that. Twitch will integrate that sooner or later. So
Volt's the catchphrase machine. If you got all the benefits on Twitch, why switch? Yeah.
Oh god,
that's a new tagline for them.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, and if y'all switch over there, y'all would never be able to pass around y'all bits like y'all do.
Better send me a goddamn paycheck then.
Wow, look at that.
I have a question. Why isn't the B3 GamingCast site enabled for bits?
Enabled for bits? I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean the stream channel?
Yeah, the stream channel.
Oh, because we don't stream enough on this channel. That's why.
Right.
It has to be like 7 streams. And so I talked about that with somebody. So the plan was like, well, just stream a couple more times. So honestly, my Paragon gameplay should have fucking gone to that. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, I just forget about it.
That's a project in the future, maybe, or something.
Yeah, here's the more key thing. Count. I need people to actually be here.
That's true. No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Like when we did the birthday, the anniversary thing, fucking nobody was here. And then when I last week when everything was super late and I didn't even tweet out things were happening, everybody showed up. I was like, I don't understand things.
Well, it's gonna be random as fuck, dude. I mean, like my wife and we went to the movies that night. I remember we saw Guardians of the Galaxy the night you were doing your stream for the anniversary thing, and I was like wanting to stop by and just like click on and share a couple bits and then go to the movies or whatever. But I was like, oh fuck, they're not even enabled for bits. So well, they have 70 followers,
Yeah, we got the followers. We got the hours actually too. It's like 8 hours, but it has to be like 7 streams or some shit like that. So I need to do 3 more.
I noticed Volts is a couple followers short of 50.
Oh yeah,
on his I was looking at that.
Mine.
Yeah, yours. Yeah, Volts.
I don't think he has been streaming much because
another Volts
problems.
Yeah. Is there another Volts that we know?
Yeah.
So we need to get Volts a couple more followers so he can
105
at
volts.
least apply for it. Yeah.
Maybe we get Fagwent over there. Fagwent?
I hate that.
Is it Fagwent?
Dude, did you guys hear my alert for it? Well, Phil did.
Yeah. I did not.
Oh my god. It's good.
I mean,
I put it in like the Discord, and I think I tweeted it, whatever. People were complaining on Twitter.
Well, it's in self promotion in the Discord. You can find it there.
Yeah, well, there were some people on Twitter that I saw that were like, why can't we get rid of these bots? We didn't ask for them to be chat log and everything, whatever. And we talked about this on the cast before. It's like there's technically nothing wrong with it because it is public, right? But it's more it goes back to that whole thing about like, look, you can ask somebody to do something, and then you can just be an asshole about it and say, go fucking do that, versus like, hey, would you mind picking that up or whatever? There's ways going about things that will not piss people off. And so if somebody, like, let's say you're in public driving and somebody's following you around, Count, what can you really do about that?
Nothing.
Exactly. So as
absolutely
long as
nothing.
Like if they're notating on a notepad, like what you're doing, you can't really do anything about that.
It's just data mining, isn't it?
Well, what these things are, one of them is supposed to do, Fagwent, I talked about this before, it's supposed to be something that it logs the mood of your chat. It's all about analytics. They're trying to sell you something at the end of the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they want to like provide a service. And I'm doing this with my fucking air quote fingers because it's bullshit.
Right.
To streamers. They just want to make money off of dumb streamers is all it is. If you're a streamer and you don't know the mood of your own chat, you don't know what the fuck you're doing as a streamer,
Right.
So it's supposed to be to help you to, like, I guess maybe run a contest or run whatever, kind of pick the mood up or change the mood, whatever it is,
They could have made a better name for it.
Yeah, I don't get that either. But there is, if you look on Reddit, they talk about it. The company talks about it themselves.
See, I missed the cast that you were talking about that because I was kind of always in the dark about what are you guys talking about? What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And then I saw it for myself.
Yeah.
When I was setting up my bot.
Yeah, I've got an audio alert when it enters the room, and then in chat it posts a message as well talking about like, hey, watch your butts because the bot is. So,
I like that. I like that.
Just so people know, and it's just I only did it because sometimes I like to be mildly annoyed about stupid shit because it keeps my mind off of being annoyed at other things, So, yeah. So I was like, all right, fair enough. So there's 2 bots. There's another one, Open Twitch bot. That's the other one. There's actually 2 more out there, but they've never hit my channel, and I can't remember their names, but that's fine. But that's all that's about. How do the fuck we talk about that? I don't even know. Anyway.
Well, we're just talking about Twitch and.
Yeah.
So Beam is now Mixer.
Yeah, it's Mixer.
That is. Ew.
Well, and you can also if you have a Microsoft account, you can make an Xbox Live account and you can stream directly from your Windows machine. They did that update, so you can do that directly from your machine with the push of a button. That's actually really nice. Like it's really seamless. You don't have to dick around with all this stuff that like I do with OBS. The downside is you also don't have any overlay stuff either. But
you don't have any of the bells and whistles and
I mean, it will pick up your camera and it will pick up your mic.
Yeah.
So that's cool, Mm-hmm. But still, I don't know.
It's like shadow play. It's like a built-in shadow play, basically.
Yeah, I don't know where it puts your camera. I don't know where it does all that stuff. So I would imagine just sticks it in the corner somewhere. So
you probably have an option to move it, maybe.
Probably.
I know shadow play gives you. I think it gives you the option to move it.
Yeah, their website is pretty good. Beam, if you haven't checked it out. It's actually, number one, it's actually true responsive versus the garbage that Twitch has. Their layout's still fucking garbage, but Beams actually works well at any fucking width, so it responsively reacts to whatever width the browser is set to, which is awesome as hell. So they do have some positive things going for them, but we'll see what happens. It's just now with Twitch making the move that it did with the bits, that's going to be hard to get anybody to want to move.
Yeah, and also the quality of Twitch has gone up for the ordinary guy. You can now stream at 30. You can stream at the 3,500. I've been streaming at 3,400, but makes a difference. You can now run the 60 frames. You can't stream 60 frames, even 720p 60 frames at 2,800 bit. It looks bad. It looks jerky. So bumping up that bandwidth or you know what I mean? It really helps.
And I remember them saying something like, well, you get transcode options as they become available, but I've never had a stream where I didn't have them. Or I've never been to a streamer, like an affiliate, small channel, everybody that I'm watching, everybody has the options. And I'm like, that's just on. That's just on all the time now, apparently.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I put my stream on short delay and nobody's complained. Whereas when I used to do that in the past, they'd be like, the thing's buffering. Like Phil was my litmus test. If he can watch the stream without a problem, then I know that it's probably okay, So, because he's got internet that doesn't work very well, so it's not very fast or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, it doesn't work very well. You just sum it up at that. That's just the general broad thing. Slow.
It sense the underlying hate.
Well, sometimes I'll watch multiple streamers and I'll set them to 480 if I'm doing something else. Like if I'm watching some YouTube videos and then I have 2 streamers up, I can put those streamers on 480p. Gotcha. And then it won't start buffering, because if I run a bunch of Windows at 720, it might start buffering.
Yeah. You could drop it down. Like that happens too sometimes to me, where I'm watching something, I might get a little buffering. I'm just like, fuck it, I'll just drop it down, because I'm just listening mostly. I'm not.
Or I'm downloading a game, or a game's updating in the background off of Steam or something like that. So
there you go.
Yep.
I saw this one little thing. Crazy Taxi. Did you guys ever play that?
Yeah, on Dreamcast.
I've seen it.
Yeah, on the Dreamcast.
I played something similar to Crazy Taxi.
What's that?
What, your driving test in real life? I'm sorry, Volt.
No, it's a GameCube game. It's based off of The Simpsons.
Something like Crazy Taxi.
Okay.
Well, apparently you can get it free on Android and iOS devices now. Like it's just free now. Sega made it free. So there you go.
I saw some kind of Dreamcast
all the way, or just completely free.
It's completely free. There's no free to play. There's no microtransactions. It's just completely free. So like you have a tablet,
cool.
for example. There you go. Android devices. Pick it up on the Google Play Store. As far as iOS, I don't know what the fuck you all do over there. So
I don't know what the fuck you all do.
The Apple Store or something, right? I don't know what they call it. iTunes Store.
The Genius Bar.
The thing that screws your shit up.
They call it the App Store.
The App Store.
Trying to copyright that.
Oh, that's right. God, I forgot that.
They actually call their people geniuses.
Well,
I'm like, really?
Yeah. It doesn't take a genius to get this phone battery for me.
Reminds me of this short little video, even though it's slightly religious, but the quote was funny. Sorry, the apple is in the man's fists, and I'm PC out of the way.
Okay. The apple is in man's fist?
First sin.
Oh.
You know, apple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that old
apple of knowledge or whatever that you're not supposed to eat to learn shit. So
yeah,
that old chestnut. Yeah.
So hold on a second though. So when it was the woman that ate the apple of knowledge, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or
to blame
was it-
everything on the women.
Well, here's the thing. So what knowledge did it give her then? Like, couldn't she work her way out of like that? If she was more knowledgeable, what kind of knowledge was it? You know, like
the knowledge to get
Oh
out.
shit! Did I just turn this into a religious
poker knowledge?
Technically,
No.
They
No,
never, they
I
never
wanna
said it.
know.
They never said it was an apple. They never said it was an apple.
Oh,
They said
okay.
fruit.
It was the fruit. All right.
Everybody
Oh,
knows
a fruit.
From the
okay.
tree of knowledge
Yeah.
or something? I don't know, because that's starting
Yeah,
to
we
get
can't
like,
fruit. We can't
But-
be fruit shaming here.
But
Yeah.
isn't the company called Apple?
how dare you assume what type of fruit it is? You assume
okay.
that
Fruit
apple,
fluidity.
that fruit's type.
You'll get thrown
I
in
do-
prison in Canada now for mislabeling fruit. You know, you do know
wow.
that. don't you?
Then why are
That's not
apples
Say what?
associated
Wait,
with
wait,
teachers?
hang on.
Yeah, that's
Why
something
would
he
you get-
brought up before.
Why would you get thrown in prison for mislabeling fruit?
Not fruit.
I'm making a joke about the
Speaking of
Bill C-16 that passed in Canada. Never mind, man. Never. I don't even want to get in about
Yeah.
this, using the wrong pronouns. Never mind, Phil.
That's
Let
right.
it go.
I don't know how long ago that was, but that was a little bit.
Oh, they
ago.
just voted on it the other day. I watched the entire Parliament video they had.
Oh, what ended up happening?
They got passed. The
Holy
bill
shit.
passed.
So
Yeah.
what is Volts? What do you do now? How do you? You
Oh,
just
shit.
don't ever go outside.
If we don't hear for Volts for about 90 days, we'll
I'm sorry,
know.
I kind of dozed, not really dozed out, but lost focus and I missed that. What was it?
Great.
I'm
so,
serious.
So
I'm sorry.
he's. I know. So you're a prime example. It's like, I'm sorry, miss. Here, miss. How dare you? I'm a man. Oh fuck, I'm going to jail.
Oh, they
now.
can label it as hate speech, even if it was intended. See, I don't even want to get into the. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It's all your
can bring
fault.
it up.
Volts.
God damn it!
Somehow we went from crazy taxi to hate speech. All right.
Back to Crazy Taxi.
Oh man.
I miss some of those Dreamcast games, though, man. I do.
Dreamcast.
I never had a Dreamcast.
They had
Dreamcast.
some awesome sports games when that console first came out, man.
I just remember what was that fishing game. There was some fishing game for it that everybody was playing. I
Yep.
just remember everybody being like, "This is the greatest thing since blowjobs," and I'm like, "It's just a console. It's all right, but it's not
That's
that
How
what
old were
amazing."
y'all and where were y'all talking about this?
It had some groundbreaking sports. Like the graphics were really cool at the time, 1999. You know,
Yeah, it just was
Sega-
super expensive and didn't have a lot of games for it.
yeah.
Sega Bass Fishing.
There you go. Bass
Yeah.
fishing. I
got one. I got one as soon as it came out. I remember.
Only Sega game I can remember is Streets of Rage.
Yeah.
I just remember playing the crap out of that with a friend.
Yeah, well, that was arcade, I think, first, and then ended up being. Yeah. Well, this is good to transition, talking about games and whatever. So Xbox, y'all, we talked about the Xbox Game Pass and how Xbox chief Phil Spencer, like he wants to make the Game Pass kind of like the Netflix of video games. Basically, to me it sounds the same thing of like just renting games online, but playing them all through that. So they finally came out with their list. It's going to be $10 a month, and I think Origin already has been doing this or something like that for a while. In fact, I think they gave away some stuff like hard drives and stuff like that for people that had been with them for like a year. But the list of games that I'm looking at here, it's about 112 games. So that's a lot bigger than I thought, because at first it was only like 20 games that they had shown. I mean, let me just look through here. Gears of War 3, Banjo-Kazooie. People like that. I watched some of that game the other day. It's fucking trippy. I don't know.
BioShock.
BioShock.
I played the hell out of Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, people seem to really like it. That really got into it. It wasn't in my time period, so I
played it on the N64. It was cool back then on the N64.
Yeah. Devil May Cry, Double Dragon Neon. I've not really seen
Sunset Overdrive.
Does anything stand out? Like here, I'm going to put this list in there.
Payday 2, XCOM.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's
nothing
anything
stands
like
amazing,
right?
Yeah, no.
Maybe I'm missing something.
Really not.
Well,
Resident Evil 0, right? Or that's not the one I'm thinking. That's not the new one. That's a different one. Yeah.
No, unless these games meant something to you, then they probably wouldn't. But I know people that love the first XCOM game.
Oh yeah.
Very
Sunset
first
Overdrive, Strider.
And they've played both at the new XCOM, Enemy Unknown, and all that, and they still like certain things that the original XCOM had over what is currently out there now. So
Dig Dug, get out of here, stupid game.
I used to play Dig Dug.
I love Dig Dug.
What?
Before.
You're gonna pay $10 to play it. You probably get a ROM of it free online somewhere and play it in an emulator.
But that's the thing, though. I think most of those games, if not all of them, you could get an emulator for them.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's just not that great. Hey, open Twitch bots here. See, we were talking about it. Looked in the chat. I saw 4 viewer count went up. Terraria?
Yeah, I thought
it was on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, but isn't that cheap?
Yeah, that goes. I got that for like well, actually no, sorry. Somebody gifted it to me, but I've seen it on Steam for like 99 cents sometimes on like a deep sale.
Yeah, there's nothing in that thing that really stands out, like Xanzer says. I mean,
yeah, they should have put some like new AAA title in there to kind of entice. I don't know. Beats me.
BioShock is in there.
Yeah, but
yeah, they got BioShock Infinite.
Okay,
and there are people that like Blood Bowl too.
I don't know what that is.
That's like it's kind of like a football game, NFL.
Is that like Mutant League Football?
It's with monsters and
it's like Mutant League Football.
Yeah, it's Mutant League Football basically. Yeah,
that's awesome. Okay,
and it's a kind of like a roll your dice. Yeah, turn based and like roll your dice like to see if you actually get what you wanted. So
it seems like a good pack for like a parent to do for their kids, so they don't have to buy them games. They just pay $10 a month, and then the kids play whatever the fuck's on that. It's like, shut up, little bastards, go play that game.
Of course, Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts is in there.
I mean, there's a lot of games there for people that haven't actually played many games. Yeah, Watusi, if you're in chat, you can actually, you're here and you can talk.
Yeah, I was wondering.
It's an open lobby today, so yeah.
I saw him in, but I didn't know what was going on.
Anyways, it seemed like kind of a limp launch to me, but whatever.
I really hope Microsoft gets some good exclusive games when the Scorpio comes out. I really do. They really need to step up their
they've mentioned game. That at E3 is going to be about games, and more games. With the Scorpio.
Nintendo's
that's
we're
what
good.
They said. Yeah, Nintendo's just take what we're giving you and shut the fuck up.
I want a reason to own an Xbox.
You know you're going to buy it, so just shut the fuck up. That's Nintendo.
But I want a specific reason to own an Xbox.
Right.
I want a game that I can't play you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that I can play on the PlayStation.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely agree. That's where things have fucked up. Like I talk about wanting exclusives, but look what's just happened recently, and I'm just going to help me transition a little bit. Vanquish came out on PC, and that was a SEGA exclusive or a Sony exclusive. And people said that would never happen. The same thing with Bayonetta. The same thing with like a few other games. And Vanquish, by the way, for a port for PC, it is flawless. I mean, I ran
got to play some of it this evening.
Did you? What did you think, man?
Yep, that game runs really fucking good.
Right? It's just I streamed it. I did 60.
Yeah, I saw your. Yep.
And that was before I figured out a trick with OBS about B frames that I didn't know about because I was having a problem with like Rainbow Six Siege. Anyways, so now I know that I could stream even better, like quality stuff without much impact.
Well, you're a guy that you don't like me to mention, Total Biscuit.
Oh, I'm fine with him now.
Yeah, okay. He actually said that this is probably going to go down as the best PC port to date.
Right? Shit.
And
That's fucking amazing.
I played some of it today, and I'm like, so this game wasn't designed for keyboard and mouse because it plays like it was.
It transitions perfectly. Yeah.
Yeah. It is really. I mean, I can see how it would be played with a controller.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it plays with a keyboard and mouse much better.
I think the aiming. Well, see, for me, the aiming is easier on a mouse, but I actually feel like I would have more fun on a controller because the controls are tighter. That's something I'm getting used to with the controller, like especially with Dark Souls, all that. The controls are real tight, and it's just like you have everything there. Sometimes I feel like with the mouse and keyboard that I don't know. Like, I don't know. Probably just me getting old.
Yeah. Tell me that game is like super short.
Yeah, it's pretty short.
Is it short? Yeah.
I think so. I think it's like a 4-hour to 6 hour, something like that. It's not very long. But the key with it is that it's intended to be played over and over because you're intended to kind of perfect it. You know, there's like a scoring system. There's challenges. If you've never played Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, then I don't know how else to equate it. Maybe Bayonetta, you know, but I think those games are all very similar. It's from the same developer, Platinum Games. So it makes sense why they're all very similar. But they're intended for you to like do very, very perfect runs, you know? Actually,
let me just look it up. But the port
scratch that game off my list then.
Oh no, the port's not. No. You're right. But I'm saying the game is developed.
wasn't done by Platinum though.
Yeah. I know. But I'm saying it's developed by them. Yeah. That's why it makes sense.
Perfect runs.
Yeah. Well, to kind of like, you know,
next game.
Well, like when you were younger,
but that's the thing though,
playing games, you repeat games like Mario, just fucking repeat it, you know?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like when you play a stage and you're like, oh man, that was a good fun stage. I could probably beat that score. That's probably how they look at it. For me, I played it, I see the score thing come up and I'm like, continue. You know, I don't even care about that score. So I just want, let me just run and play and have fun.
I'll tell you what though, those stages are actually pretty bite-sized. Like you can play a few, and they're pretty fucking intense. They throw you in there. They don't ramp you up. They just throw you in there hard, and give you everything, and then there you go. And
that initial stage, like the first mission that you go into, I was like, "Is this D-Day?" Like, as soon as they opened the doors, everybody was just getting peppered. I was like, "This doesn't make sense. What the fuck?" The ship that they flew in just crashed. Because I was like, this is a suicide mission.
You thought you were storming the beach at Normandy or something?
Basically,
it was like that. The amount of guys that you had and where you were up against, and the like they're up on an elevation as well. And it's like, this don't make sense. It's like, this is just crazy. I mean, obviously for video game, it's great because it's just like crazy, hectic, fun, run around, slay, use your jump jets, attack enemies. It's great, but like logically, it was like they just throwing you straight in. I mean, obviously you have the tutorial at the beginning, so you know exactly what you're doing. But at that point, then it's just like, oh yeah, cool, do it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a frantic shooter.
Yeah, I do like the intro stuff with them on the ship talking and the guy talking about how shiny his armor is. It doesn't have any marks.
Right.
And you know, he talks back to him, and then he whips out this blade and slices at him, and he barely moves his head back, and it cuts his cigarette. And they're like, you know, he's like, no, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, no smoking on the ship.
Yeah, but that was all just him testing. Like, I don't believe that you have what it takes, and so he kind of throws a little at him just to see, can you even, you know? And he's like, all right, fair enough. Yeah, it's total Japanese. It's hard. Like somebody, I think Rockshaw was like, oh, this voice. I was like, dude, this is Japanese as fuck. They love American stuff so much that that's why that
true,
one guy's so machismo, and the other guy, they have like a bromance going on practically about how macho each one of them is, you know, because they're looking at American movies and being like, this is what they're trying to do, right? They like interpret it in a weird way, but it's funny. It's funny, you know.
Yeah. But honestly though, I remember watching like Predator. I remember when I can't remember the black guy's name was, but Arnold black guy, when they see each other and they start to trash talk each other, and then there's like, you know, they do like the
Dylan.
Yeah. And they do like a little handshake, which is like, almost like an arm wrestling.
Yeah, but they're doing arm wrestling. Yeah, and he goes,
muscles
you're
rippling,
pushing too many pencils.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this game, I think when I was streaming it, I said, this is like an 80s action movie. It's all cheesy, but good lines. They're good cheesy lines. They're like, oh my, they're knee slappers. That's what they are. Yeah. You know, and it's for as cheap as you could have gotten it, and I'm sure it's going to go on sale later on. If you can get it for like $10 or even $5 if you're lucky, you know, later on, it's worth just screwing around with.
I told you I was interested in picking that game up. Remember?
Yeah. It's a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I struggled with the controls initially because I was not ready for it. And then I was like, I'll get better. And sure enough, like towards the end, I was doing some really cool stuff. But it took me a bit because I'm just not. I don't have that anymore. So just don't.
Yeah, I bought the Surge. I bought the Surge instead of
Did
Vanquish.
You play it?
It was between those two. I played it about 10 minutes. I'm gonna play it some more.
Interrupting. I gotta jump out for a bit. I will be back.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man.
All right,
no problem.
Cool.
Yeah. So you played it for 10 minutes?
Surge?
Yeah, I played Surge for 10 minutes. Good game. Seems like a good game.
I heard it's
a little
hard.
glitchy. It's a little glitchy at first. It is hard.
Yeah, I heard it was real hard.
Yeah, that's probably going to be not good for me. But I enjoyed what I played. I'm going to try to hit it up some more this weekend. But you have to like switch targeting between not just enemies, but the limbs of the enemies.
Right.
You have to like focus on it because they have like a certain. It'll cue you to like attack. Like one of the first harder opponents. He's got like a left bionic arm, right? And you have to take that off. And he beat the shit out of me.
The whole thing is like.
And then I had to go to work. So I basically just demoed the game. You know, I installed it and demoed it. But you know, it's a good game though. It doesn't seem too bad. It's a little glitchy at first. At first, your character starts out in a wheelchair, and I went right through the door, the closed door. It glitched out, and I could roll right through the closed door. Like, oh man, boy,
that's quality.
There's some quality coding problems, but
that's good stuff though. I like
that. But the combat seems really good. I mean, but yeah, it's a tough game. There's no doubt. It's gonna be a challenge.
Maybe you lost your legs and your soul that you partially go. You found an Easter egg. You just don't know it.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze and Ghost or something.
You were Professor X, and you were spirit walking through the
astral plane.
Yeah, there you go, the astral plane.
But you know.
Yeah, who's that guy that resides in the astral plane? Like, was it like his Nathan? No, it was like the different version of Cable, but like the perfect version of Cable. Is that who it was?
Yeah, you're right, Nathan.
Nathan, I don't know.
Nathan Gray.
Gray. There you go. But but what was his name? Like this evil name or something?
I can't remember. I know they reference it in the Marvel Heroes video game.
But that was like the first time they busted out. Like, okay, it's actually the astral plane. It's not, anything. That's where they actually go.
Right.
Like, oh man, don't do that.
They actually reference the character you're talking about in Marvel Heroes. They have like
he's got like a bunch of silver and shit all over, like silver armor or something.
But I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Me, I quit Marvel Comics around that time. Like when that started, I was like, "This is too much."
So did I.
This is too much. I can't do this.
I took like a 10-year hiatus where I didn't even read anything.
Nothing. 20 year. Yeah. Well, the last thing I picked up was like Exo Manowar, and that was probably like 6 years ago or something like that. So yeah, dog.
Oh, doggy. We need a doggy cam.
He's just bored. Somebody walks by. He's like, "Why are you doing that?"
Your dog is cute as hell, though, dude.
He's getting old too. He has his bad days.
Oh, really?
He was sick the other day.
Oh,
he gets stomach problems, and he's got a problem. Then I got a problem because I want to make sure he's all right and stuff. But he's good today, right, buddy? But
He's cute as hell. I have a new cat that's pretty cute.
Cool. Oh, Chubbles.
Chubbles. Yeah, well,
I love that name.
Well, it's a female for one, and my stepson was like when he was alive and he was talking about the cat. He goes, "Oh, I have a cat and it's so fat." Well, he got the cat with skin and bones. I'm like, "You're not." I'm like, "Your son didn't feed the damn cat." Yeah. So now the cat's getting fat. Yeah. Now the cat will live up to his name here soon.
Yeah, Chubby. I'm Chubby the Chubbler.
Chubbles.
Hey, there's a couple of free games out this weekend for people. I'll probably push this out on Twitter as well. I'm sure most of us know already. Overwatch free for the weekend,
right?
And Fallout 4 as well on Steam is free for the weekend. So,
oh, really? I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I might actually mess with it because I've never played a true Fallout game. I played Fallout Tactics, which people say is not like a true Fallout game because it's like an overhead 3/4 view, like a Final Fantasy Tactics kind of thing. So, but I was like, I enjoyed that because they're turn-based, I kind of don't like Fallout games. I've seen them, and I really just don't. They don't appeal to me. So,
I played Fallout New Vegas. Is the only one I played. I didn't finish it or anything, but
a lot of people like that one.
With it. Yeah, it was okay. I wasn't like, I don't see why people are fanboying it, but I mean, it's a decent game, but
probably it just did whatever they wanted,
Right. Right. Speaking of great deals, though.
Oh yeah,
Black Desert on Steam, $4.99.
Oh yeah, okay. I think I saw something like 40% off.
Yeah, it's $4.90. It's normally $10, but yeah, I mean you can get the basic game for $4.99, but you can't play with like the classic Black Desert people. You can Steam has their own. Yeah, you won't. That was a little disappointing, but
I don't understand. You can't play with like the original players.
Yeah, you can't play with the people that bought it originally. As far as I understand, I read into it, and I think
have a different server.
Yeah, it's a different server. So Steam players can only play with other Steam players.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just kind of strange, but
that's weird.
I need to double check that, but I'm about 99.9% that's the case. But still, $4.99. That's a great game.
Yeah, usually when something is sold through Steam, it's like you still have to go to the other whoever the originator was and log into their system.
Right.
Like I think, what do I have? The Divisions through Ubisoft, but I got it through Steam. And so, therefore, I still have to have both open. It's kind of stupid, but it is what it is,
So yeah, supposedly the Steam can only play with the Steam players. So, which is a little disappointing. I bought that game when it first came out for like $39.99.
Right.
So.
So if you started a character, you have to start a new character now.
You'd have to start all new, but I'm not that far progressed in any character anyway. And help $4.99. If anybody else wanted to play it, I'd jump on it.
Yeah. Not me. I'm not.
I know it's a great game though. Yeah. I mean, it's a good game, but it takes a dedication to the game.
Well, I've done that. Like, let's say FF14. Eddie wanted someone to play with, so I fucking went in hard on it. And then he didn't play anymore. Now he's playing baseball, and I'm like, all right, why'd I spend all these hours getting up to 30 for no fucking reason, man? Come on. So, yeah.
Well, you told me that you weren't going to continue the game anyway. That's what kind of what
I
you
wasn't going to pay for it, but I could still keep playing all the different classes. That's what I was saying.
I got you.
Because there's a shitload of classes you can play up to 30.
Right.
Actually, with FF14, they even have something out now where you can, because I think they recently upped the cap to 70. It used to be 50, then 60, 70. But now they're going to be selling potions to where you can, kind of like, I think WoW does this too, where you can basically buy your way to that cap level. And
Guild Wars 2 does that.
Yeah. So they've got two different ways you could do it. You could buy the experience technically, but still have all the quests to do. Or you could buy all the quests finished and get the experience at the same time. Like
Drink a potion, you're level 30.
Right. And then they don't ruin the quests, so you still can go do the quests just to get the experience if you want. But I'm like, if you wanted to do that, then why the fuck would you? But I guess it's just so you could play with friends that that are at that cap level.
Right.
Or if you want to start another fucking character or something and just get them up there. All right.
I
All right,
would
dude,
have played Black Desert with you, Count, but you know my situation. Apparently, it's not. I can't play it in my region for some reason.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember
What's up
something
about that?
I was going to ask you about that again because I was like, my memory's going bad, and I was like, I know somebody mentioned that somewhere. Was that Phil, and was that Black Desert that he was talking about?
When you put out the tweet about it, I went and checked on Steam, and I was like, oh, cool, it's coming. So I actually added it to my wish list.
That's fucking bullshit. And then it hid it
today,
from you.
Yeah, and then it went up to today. It was still on my wish list until I removed it, but I could see it. I used to be able to see it there in the wish list. And when I click on it, it just takes me to the community Steam section for it. I can't.
Fuck.
The game just doesn't exist. And I'm like, but I had a similar things like that used to happen before. Like when Arkham Knight first came out, I never used to see it. Like when it went on sale, it never was like. What used to happen is that I used to see Steam sales, and then like certain things would just be like a blank checkbox, a blank square where that's like one of the games. But the ironic thing that happened.
That's the drawback of living in paradise,
Well.
Yeah. But the ironic thing though is that I went to Atlanta like during Halloween, and they had a sale because Batman, Joker's kind of scary, so they had that on sale then, and I bought it. I got it for like $5, and I was telling my friends, "Hey, it's $5," and they were like, "No," they were back home. They were like, "No, I can't see it." And then I came back home, and I still able to play the game. I never installed or anything, but I was able to. It was in my library, and I was able to download it. And I was like, "What kind of crap is this?"
That's weird.
I have a workaround for you. Then all you have to do is find the key on another site like Bundle Stars. It's not there. I already looked. I just looked. It's not there. Green Man Gaming. I guess you could buy. Well, if you buy the key, all you got to do is then unlock it, right?
Hey, well, I wonder if you could gift it to him though. I wonder if I could gift it to him and it would work.
Right?
You could test it and see.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna do that this weekend.
On Steam, though?
Do I?
I don't think you're on my Steam.
Know.
I think you blocked me or something. I don't know. I think you timed me out or banned me or something.
Try that out and make sure to let us know.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah,
I would have blocked you if I had
I'm
the chance.
joking. I'm joking.
I know I'm kidding. I'm carrying on the jokes.
While y'all could, I'm just gonna let people know. Apparently, real quick, Black Ops 3 multiplayer DLC is going to be free on PC for all of June. If anybody has that, I don't have the game. But if you do have it and you haven't played the multiplayer DLC, it's going to be free for the entire month. That's an interesting move,
right.
Giving people a taste of the entire DLC. That's kind of interesting because I don't think I've ever seen that before. Usually it's like, hey, try the game out, not try the DLC. All the DLC. Right. So curious, but interesting either way.
I really shouldn't open Steam right now, but I was going to open Steam. I'll have to add you on the friends later, Phil. You'll have to.
You can do it in Discord.
Yeah, I was looking for you there now.
Let me close that.
What other small thing? Here's another small thing. Hitman for $10 on Amazon. So you can get this pack of Hitman games: Hitman Codename 47, Hitman 2 Silent Assassin, Hitman Contracts, Hitman Blood Money, and Hitman Absolution Elite Edition. All those games for $10. And the reason why it's taken such a hit is because the developer Square Enix is dropping the developer Dev IO Interactive. They put them up for sale, basically. So they said, in regards to questions about that, they're like, all right, is that going to actually work? Are you going to continue the season? Remember, the latest Hitman is in seasons. Are the seasons of that game going to continue? They're like, well, if somebody buys it and wants to continue it.
Right.
So that's a little messed up,
But they have already started other seasons already, so it's just a matter, I guess, of just having the funding to keep it going. So if somebody does buy it, it's not like they can start to do the seasons after somebody buys it. So chances are somebody buys it, they'll be up and running in no time.
Yeah, you would think that they would want that revenue, unless that's going to be locked in. But if they're selling the damn company, they're selling I guess that the entire everything that's with it, and the IP is going with it too. Because they technically, I guess, could keep the IP, but I guess that's like hey, this thing's valuable, Here's the title behind it, the series or whatever. So, yeah. Thought that was interesting.
I found you on Steam Count, so you'll see an invite, friend request from me.
I got it. I already got it.
Oh, okay.
Pop this up here.
Now I can block you. Cool.
GTA 5 apparently has shipped 80 million fucking units. 80.
Isn't that crazy?
80 million units. And I swear to God, it's one of the best games. I would play it except for fuck Rockstar because they're pieces of shit. But God damn, it's probably one of the best games out there, you know? After they got through all their clusterfuck of not getting their shit together during the first year and two, you know?
Have any of y'all seen people stream any role playing?
No.
They do for that?
I think I've seen some garbage about that, yeah.
Apparently it is like tons of people are doing it. I mean, like,
weird.
I don't know, like, and I watched it and I'm like, hey, welcome back. I watched it and I'm like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
But no, I can see why people do it, but it feels stupid to me. It's like,
oh yeah,
all they're doing is just pretending. But I mean, that's fun. That's cool.
It's because you're not a kid anymore. And I feel the same way. Like I've seen it before and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. But to kids that are that age, they're like, oh, you're an old man now, sir. Okay.
Whoa.
Welcome to the club. Come on.
Have some dignity. I haven't seen this.
It's like,
don't know
just look it up. Just look it up on Twitch.
It's like I
people
saw
actually like playing out their final.
It's their fantasy.
Some people pretend to be cops. Some people pretend to be cops. Some people pretend to be like an old man. Some
That's
guys
correct.
pretend to be a female.
That's correct.
Just walking around.
So it's just like real life. It's just like real life.
They organize protests. The cops come and break it up. I watched all this stuff and I'm like, what?
Well, they do it because they don't want to do anything like that in real life, because doing that in real life takes effort, you know? You could do whatever the hell you want in video games. It's like this guy.
And the consequences are permanent.
Yeah, check this out. This guy in EVE Online, apparently some con artist or whatever, tricked like some pirate gang into giving like some priceless ship. Basically, there's some group in EVE Online called the Amamake Police. Amamake, A-M-A-K-E, whatever, K-E. M-A-M-A-K-E. They're like EVE Online pirates. They're well known for being like crazy bastards. Basically, they win like these alliance tournament ships that are one of a kind, right? So apparently, this one dude worked his way into the confidence of that group and eventually conned a ship away from one of the guys. Then he sold it, and the guy that he sold it to was like, "Look, just give me a copy." Like a ship like this one, because that specific one had a bunch of kills with it, like 400 kills or something like that, and I'll give you this one back. So that's pretty decent of that dude, but still, like, can you? And this took it took this guy like 6 months or no, it took this guy 12 or what?
16 months.
Yeah, 16 months. There you go. It took him a long fucking time to get it done, dude. 6 months is a lot of time too. Honestly, 6 weeks is a long time. But I mean, I can't do. That's a long con. Yeah, that is just a commitment to the con. Well, here's the thing: the ship was not even that expensive, and so it wasn't even worth it for the entire time. Like, it's expensive, but other people I read this other thing where this other guy took an entire fucking like I guess group down. Like he got them to give him access stupidly, you know, through confidence. And then he just took all their ships, you know, it was like, oh, put all your ships in there. They put all their ships in the space station, and he locked everybody out. And then they were no longer a group. I was like, how the fuck are you how are people that stupid? You know, like that. Oh yeah. And then he started a war, all kinds of shit, you know, like,
we tried to do that shit in DC Universe. We tried to like plant a mole in a league, you know, like go to that league, make a new character, and then see what they're saying about us and shit. And then I'm like, wait a second, get a fucking life.
The thing is with that guy though is that what happened was that the guy that he got the ship from, they actually used to go and do different little dog fights and whatever.
Yep.
And that the guy that gave him the ship always wanted to do different things that a lot of people didn't want to do in the game. So to gain his trust, he kept jumping along. So the guy thought, oh, this is cool. You know, I finally got somebody to play the game with that like, has the same interests as me. So the guy actually isn't even angry at the guy, even though that he's gone back to ship. Because they actually talk back and forth on the forum since that happened. And he actually says that he feels more hurt that he's actually lost somebody he thought was a friend that he could play with.
16 months, that's fucked up. That's some sociopathic shit right there. It is. Like these people, like the other guy that did the same thing, like he's fucked people out of like fucking he's broken up entire, like they're no longer groups anymore. The people quit the entire game. All that. They're like, they talk to these people in real life and they're like, do you feel bad? And it's like, why would I feel bad about it? It's like, people know the risks, blah, blah, blah. You go into the games. It's a video game, but you still can't be stupid about it. I was like, no, that's called you're a fucking sociopath when you can't see the overarching things of what you're doing, If you want to try to like, reason it down to like, it's just a game, but then also say that people should be more aware even if it is just a game. It's like, no, you can't have both. You can't try to justify your garbage, People see right through that shit, And why do they do it? Because they can't do it in real life,
Right.
Like that one guy, he lost like a bunch of money during the housing market crash, right? Not this guy, some other dude that was like even worse than this guy. And so he started going to like play poker and stuff like that and trying to win money back. And I guess that kind of like got him to not give a fuck about people, because he was like, he would win money from people and they'd be like, oh, that's my kid's, like, whatever. And he's like, I don't know if that's true or not.
Shouldn't be gambling.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or not. That's not my fault. Now that's one
not
thing.
Going to fly in the poker.
Right. That's one thing. That's gambling.
That won't fly. Yeah.
Yeah. But see, in Eve, people are like, yeah, but it's just, you can't, it's not real money. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. They're like, well, you can't like do real money trades. That's against the rule. All right. Everyone follows the rules all the time. Get the fuck out of here. If you don't think people do real money trade, then you've never been in an MMO ever. Fucking Final Fantasy 14 has real money trade for in-game, money. That's called farming, God damn. So trying to justify it like, oh, it's just me having fun in the game. Bullshit. He's making fucking $100,000 easily on one big scoop, in real money.
There's actually even sites that you could go to that you can get the value of your Steam account, like based on all the games that you have in there, and you could put it up for sale.
Yeah.
That's been like that forever. Like, remember selling characters in MMOs.
Yeah, WoW and
Guild
C&D
Wars?
Universe Online. We used to.
I believe I had a class with someone who sold a clan.
Yeah, see? There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Imagine like going into a group now, becoming like a warlord member or whatever, and then locking everybody out and then selling it. So
in DC Universe Online, we used to deal in Sony and PlayStation cards. And then somebody would scam, and there was a guy actually making videos of him scamming people out of their PlayStation card code, and then he would lecture the person about how you shouldn't trust anyone on video games, and he would make a video.
Yeah,
and
but that's some low-level stuff. That's not like,
yeah,
I'm going to make it to where you don't even want to touch this game anymore because remember, Eve takes fucking like ever to get anything done in that game. Right. Because a lot of it's real time, It's like, oh, you're going to learn that skill? Guess what? Come back in 6 months, motherfucker.
Right.
So,
that's crazy. Yeah,
it is.
And the thing about that group of pirates or whatever that guy infiltrated and stole the shit from.
Amamake Police.
Yep. They have a reputation of playing reckless.
Yeah.
Because basically, if you get on those big expensive ships and it gets destroyed in a battle, you lose it. You can't get it back. You gotta work your way back up to get enough money to buy another one of those. And like you said, it keeps the amount of kills and stuff. So like if you go and you take that ship out and you win battles,
even worse.
Like
it's not even the value of the ship. It's the fact that they're one of a kinds because they're won during alliance tournaments or whatever.
Yeah. So the value is not. It's in the fact that, hey, look, this is a expensive ship to get in the game. It takes a long time, but it also has all these marks and it's got these notches on it because it got all these victories as opposed to a brand new one.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that guy didn't want a brand new one. He could obviously work his way back to get another one, but he wanted back his particular ship.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's the point of it. So I don't know what the point of the story is. Don't take video games too seriously.
I know. The point of the story is don't be an asshole.
Well, that's going to always happen. So I guess the only thing you can do, remember, you can't change the shit that's not within your realm of changing. So just don't fucking take it too seriously, I guess, right? Shit, I don't know.
But speaking of real life, you had mentioned the real life role playing of Grand Theft. But what was that game Emphasize was streaming the other day? That's real life that they edit cut with a press X to stay alive.
think
It was
that's
something
Remember
like
where
that.
it's actual people?
Yeah, that was something like that. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
I'm
what
not sure
the
what the
hell
name
was
of it was
that
exactly.
about? Yeah,
She loves chocolate.
It was just some FMV thing. Yeah,
yeah, that was kind of.
yeah. It's just kind of weird.
It was a little cringy.
Yeah,
That's the point.
Yeah, I think it was kind of funny too because they did go through like and actually give you a bunch of different responses if you keep
Right.
asking the same thing over and over, which is
Right.
oddly refreshing. You don't really get that in games. I was like, huh, that's, of all the stupid shit that happened, I was like, why don't games do that? Why don't games give you different responses based on, stuff instead of the same fucking response? It's like, that'd be interesting. I think Dark Souls
What was
does
the
a little
name
bit.
of that? Press X to stay alive. Is that what the
Dude,
name
I
of that
don't
game
remember.
was?
Yes.
Like I said, I think
Yeah.
that sounds about right. Press something, yeah, because the whole
Yeah.
thing was
X.
X. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they kept saying something like gamers.
Oh, press X
'Cause
to die. Press
Because I
X
press
to
X.
die. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
something like that. Or no, press X to stay alive. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a public game. Okay, I see.
Is it free?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I've never seen it before. So
Like the production of it seemed like more than the game itself. I saw
right.
some of the stuff
That's what I
for
was-
it.
Yeah.
So, who knows? I know they did it with like GoPros or something like that, but I honestly don't really know much
Yeah,
about the game.
basically, it was a guy that put a GoPro on, and
Mhm.
he put GoPros on some crappy actors, and they
Yeah,
Wasn't
I
like
think
there was a clown dude that came up and you
yeah, that was weird.
fucking hit him upside the head or something. But
Yep,
that's
Wasn't
kind
that
of a
another
cool. It's
movie?
kind of a neat idea. But
wasn't there a movie with that though?
the
Where you were
clown.
controlling? Wasn't that no? Where you were like controlling people that you they were
You know, Night
avatars in
Trap?
real life.
Yeah, that's
You
an
want,
old game, but
That's the one with Gerard
movie.
Butler, man. Where they took like
Oh, I saw
prisoners
that.
and they were fighting.
oh yeah,
I don't know the
That was
name of
called-
it.
Something
that was
similar
called
to that.
Gamer, wasn't it?
It probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he makes some
edgy
really crappy
movie.
movies.
Hey, paycheck's a paycheck, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Man,
gotta-
Even
Okay.
admit, yeah, I'm a whore for the industry. Oh well.
That's a good point, Volts. Maybe I don't know. I know like that Night Trap game's coming back. I think we talked about it before.
yeah.
Like it didn't pass its Kickstarter, but they made it anyway. So
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Other games with FMV I know of is Command Conquer, and
Sure. Yeah. I think they actually had some pretty good actors in one of them. I can't remember which one, but there were
King?
actual real actors in decent actors too. I think
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. Okay.
in one of the
Interact-
Command and Conquers.
Yeah. Full motion video.
Yeah. And then something happened and they just went the wrong way and then it's like one of the worst games now or something like that. So that's the history I
Permission.
have of them.
permission to segue.
What? Yeah, sure, man.
Oh, it had Dana Plato.
Other games I know that have FMV is Mechwarrior 4 and Mech Commander.
Yeah.
Dana Plato was actually in that game from
Dana
Different
Plato?
Strokes. Yeah, she died. She ended up being like a train wreck. Anyway.
You lost me, man. Wait,
Yeah.
was she a blonde girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Off Different Strokes.
Okay, that's the
Yeah.
vaguest memory I have, and that's about it. Well, she did that show. It was probably a success, and then like any of those young
Child
actors,
actors, yeah, they go and
they
they
get
get
all
on the
coked
heroin.
up and or
Yeah.
heroin. Yeah. There you go.
Never
Strung
mind.
out and then dead. Well, that was dark. So
Yeah.
Jeez.
Volts,
took a
you
bad
played
turn.
Mechwarrior Online. How was that, man?
That game takes a lot of patience.
Yeah.
All I know is that
Well,
that
it's-
community for that game seems very chill.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't
Watching
seem
you
like
play.
Volts would play it actually to me. He's
I-
not.
it's-
He's a very charge in there, wreck shit.
Yeah.
Sure enough, when we watched him play it, that's what he did. He picked a tiny little robot. He charged in, and there was like
spider.
5 dudes, and he was just, oh fuck, this was a bad decision.
Yeah, that when you play as a light mech, you should be just flanking, poking the backs of everyone, being a nuisance.
Exactly. But you did some good runs too. I remember there was another one where you were kind of like in the middle of a lake or something like that. But you had killed a
Yeah.
couple of things. You were behind one guy, and
Yeah,
anyways,
he was in the
yeah, tell us
tunnels.
about it a bit if you can.
Basically, Mechwarrior Online is a free-to-play game. There's obviously going to be some microtransactions in it.
Yeah. So they don't have any now?
They still do. They limit the amount of mechs you can have. It still reminds me of how Warframe limits you on Warframes.
Right.
Some customization options to color your mechs is behind microtransactions, but that everything gameplay wise is you can get. That's sort of the payment there.
Yeah.
And when you play, you get to choose different types of mechs. When you start off, you don't have any, but you're given 4 of each type. 4 of light mechs, 4 of medium mechs, 4 of heavy mechs, and 4 of assault mechs.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
basically
not bad at all.
But randomly, periodically, it cycles.
Oh, okay. You get whatever they give you of those 4. So, okay. All right.
Of those sets of forces. So if you wanted to experiment, just go with either light, medium, heavy, or assault.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the difference is between heavy and assault.
I don't know. I would imagine heavy is maybe more armored up, and assault is more like firepower. And maybe a little bit faster.
I think in the tutorial, the commander, whoever is talking to you, says that machine right there, that's an assault mech. It has lots of weapons and such, but teaching you as well as how to damage certain areas of the mech.
Yeah.
You got the center torso, right torso, left torso, arms, legs, and the cockpit.
Right. Yeah, that's pretty standard for Mechwarrior games, where you can damage
as well as
individual
the back.
parts of it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you can overheat too, right?
Yes, you can easily overheat yourself if you're too crazy with your weapons. Or jets.
Well, for lasers, but does that work with like rounds based, like ballistics based?
Ballistics, it slightly increases your heat, but you're limited on ammunition.
Yeah, exactly. Cool.
And the main mechs I have right now is the Bushwhacker, Crab, and Spider.
Yeah. So you're always, it's just like basic scenarios that you get dropped into, right? You're always like with a group of people, right?
Yeah, you're always with a group of people. It's PvP only.
Right.
And you're in a group of 12.
Yeah.
Versus another group of 12. Unless someone disconnects.
Really?
Then go fuck them.
I never saw that many on the screen at one time.
Pardon?
I never really saw that many on the screen at one time when you were playing. I always saw like maybe 2 or 3 at a time. I didn't know it was 12.
I usually split off from the group. Not supposed to, but that's what I do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course. See, this is what I mean. Like, I was like, why would you be? You don't fit the model of, like Phil said, everybody was like really calm and chill. I imagined it was all a bunch of Watusi dudes. Just got 3 enemies on the right.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, I'm firing on them. Okay, you got that guy?
No, that's too much.
That's
too much.
That video where I
honestly,
using the crab, that was the most tactical I was with the group. Someone was in the base. I decided, okay, I'll take care of that dude. I'll just type this down, run back to our base, take care of whoever is backdooring our base.
Whoever's backdooring your base. Oh, yeah. That's a term.
Oh, yeah. But listen, watching Volts play, it is almost, it seems like if those guys are all just, at a LAN party, just all in one room, and they don't talk until they get past the spliff. So they're like, all right. We got an enemy coming at 6. We got an enemy coming at 6 o'clock. Just just see them lean over and pass it. The next guy, the guy just takes his time and pass. Okay,
I'm feeling they're pretty hardcore and Mechwarrior players.
The map is basically in grid form, so you hear them say enemies in H3.
Yeah, these guys have been playing the game for a while. You can tell.
Actually, I should have said this. Enemies in B3.
Yeah.
You sank my battleship.
Shit.
Anything else to note about that game?
It's pretty accurate to its previous games. The only one I've played other than Mechwarrior Online is Mech Commander and Mechwarrior 3.
Okay, all right, fair.
What about Hawken? Have you ever played Hawken?
Oh yeah,
Yes, I have.
How does
Yeah.
it compare to that?
Hawken is much faster paced. You would think it'd be for me.
Smaller arenas.
Smaller mechs and
Yeah.
Yeah, less
an arena shooter.
stuff to do, right?
yeah.
Yeah, kind of figured.
Oh,
Like it's more
speaking of-
arcadey.
Speaking of things to do, there's multiple missions within Mechwarrior Online. There's base match, skirmish, escort, which I never see anyone vote for. Normally, you get 2 picks, 2 different.
Nobody likes
selections
escort
of,
missions. That's why in any game. That's why.
It's true.
So
Yeah.
you get 4 maps to choose from. To vote for,
Mhm.
and 2 missions to vote for.
Yeah.
Rarely I see escort be a mission.
Yeah, it's too easy to fail it. That's why it's never like Plus, the escort AI is usually garbage or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They get all fucked up, and it's like, no, goddamn it, stop! You can't
No,
give
this
them
way,
commands.
hurry up. Yeah.
So it's just like, good luck.
That mission I don't like. What's the other mission? Escort. Other mission, please. The one I hate.
Oh, yeah. Well, you also played Dead Cells, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Yes.
Count.
No, I just remembered in Hawken they thought that was going to be like a huge game. They even developed their own. They even developed their own custom Hawken controller.
Yep.
It was going to cost
I
like
saw it down
$400.
at South by Southwest one year. I went there and they were there.
Oh, okay.
And nobody was really playing it.
That went over. Yeah, that went over like a lead balloon.
I thought it looked cool, and even I didn't want to play
I
it.
played it for like a couple
I've
days.
played it. I
Yeah,
played it a few times through Steam, and it's actually a pretty fun game.
it's not too bad. Yeah, I got
something
gang
was
raped.
not right about it
yeah.
though. Like something was missing. I don't know what.
I mean, it was just kind of. It got boring. I played maybe 10
kinda
matches.
Basic.
Yeah.
It's like you do the same
Too
thing.
basic.
All right, us versus them kind of thing, and then it's like, all right, cool, that's done. All right, next mission,
Okay.
same thing again. So
Maybe
it's
the
like,
map's too small, right? Something like
probably,
that.
that could probably be
A
part
little
of it too,
bit.
but I find it's
little bit.
repetitive. I find it's very repetitive.
Yeah,
It's because there's not enough to do then. Because repetitive is a lot of shit. Like I'll repeat playing Vanquish maps or missions, but there's got to be something about what it is that makes it not fun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's certain things like MOBAs. If you do a MOBAs,
Shit,
are
I did
very
the same map in
repetitive. But
Paragon
the whole,
over and over.
yeah, but the tactics and stuff that you put in there
Right.
actually make it different. But I found with Hawken, it was kind of like pretty much the same thing, maybe just in a different map.
Yeah. Yeah, all I was trying to do was get out of you what it was that made you feel repetitive, because everything's fucking repetitive, going to sleep, waking up, it's all the same bullshit that we do every goddamn fucking day. So there's like, what about it is not fun or interesting, So
I actually have 4 Hawken videos on my YouTube channel from 4 years ago.
oh my god, yeah,
Huh.
well, I'll go watch it right
They
now.
have 75 views, 242, 28
Heard it.
views, and 50 views. Woohoo!
Count
Where's that
Shockula-
YouTube
wait.
money?
It's not
Where's that
Count
YouTube
Shockula
money?
on YouTube, right? What is it?
Yeah, it's Count. You can find it with
Is it
Count
Count
Shockula.
Shockula or is it something else?
I changed the
okay.
C name or whatever. Yeah, so
Sea Nanners. All right, Sea Nanners
Yeah,
on
sea-
YouTube.
oh,
there
yeah.
you go.
I'm,
One thing I can think of that makes Mechwarrior different from Hawken is that you can pretty much. It's one life. When you take damage,
Yeah,
that's
one
damage
shot,
you take.
one opportunity.
No,
Mom's
for that
spaghetti.
match. You take damage, poke damage from a light mech with whatever light damage. You're going to be stuck with that damage until you're
Palms are sweaty.
dead or.
I was just gonna say that.
Well, then I take it another way. I'm like, moms are sweaty, palm spaghetti. What?
Oh! But when you leave the
calm
mission,
down,
you
Mother
can pretty
Lover.
much put whatever weapon you want that the mech is compatible with.
Well, see, Mechwarrior was always a little bit more technical. That's always how that game's been. Where you got to balance things out and all that stuff. So
Hawken also didn't have those like specific, like how you votes are saying, like the middle torso, left torso. That they didn't have those that kind of stuff in it. It would just like shoot them till they take damage and then they're down.
You just have to shoot them as much as possible before they kill you, or you can technically maneuver around them. One of you dies, you're pretty much out of the mission. You're spectating.
shoot them until they're dead.
Best strategy I've ever heard.
I need
love
some
these
clarification
tactics.
on that.
Yeah, we shoot
What's
them
that?
more than they shoot us. Let's
It's
go.
all like
I tried
Counter-Strike.
Mechwarrior Online years ago. I couldn't get the control. I didn't like the way it controlled.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
your WASD is basically your legs and the mouse is your torso.
yeah, it was like
It's tank controls.
Oh
that's
yeah,
too
I
much.
like it.
Too much work.
Well, that's old school stuff. That's how it used to be too. So I'm familiar.
Silent
with that
Hill.
one.
Croc.
No, that's how Mechwarrior games were. Like you had that,
Yeah.
and then you also had like a walk forward button, so you can have it auto walk.
We even had a fucking joystick that came with MechWarrior 3. That was fucking awesome.
Mechwarrior 3?
Yeah,
Really?
we got a controller specifically for that game.
No shit.
It was fucking awesome. And
That's cool.
we don't have it anymore, but I do have another joystick with me, but it has less buttons.
Yeah, no, I played Mechwarrior and probably Mechwarrior 2, I'm guessing, on the PC, and that was like late 90s. So I don't, it was.
They need a really good VR mech game with
Yeah.
the new VR technology coming out. You'd think that would be prime.
Well, here's the
You know
other
what I
thing,
mean?
Count. Like I was watching, Volts play it. It was his birthday, and he was streaming, and he streamed this. And I gotta say, it didn't look that much more advanced graphically than the old fucking games.
Right.
Like it is a little bit better textured around, but honestly, I was like, yeah, this is pretty much like old Mechwarrior, and I
Right.
kind of feel like
Yeah.
this is an early 2000s game. What I'm looking at right now,
Yep.
I don't even feel like it's like today's standards graphically. But it's
I
probably
think it was-
because it's online. They want as many people to play as possible. Lowest level of requirements,
Supposedly MechWarrior 5 is in the works.
VR. No, I'm kidding.
I don't want that to pull the game back. I want it released. I want that game. I want it. The main website says 2018.
See, my
I do
favorite.
not want it.
Yeah, my favorite was Heavy Gear because Heavy Gear got away from what Mechwarrior was doing, which was the big blocky. It looks like just blocks on blocks, squared
Blocks
off
on blocks.
mechs. Where it looked like a weird. Some of those frames look just really like. Why would you make that way? It looks such like you're moving a house. I was like, it just doesn't. Heavy Gear started making them a little bit more humanoid. And so then you had like really fast mechs that you could run around with, and like you had some that stealthed, and you had some that were like long range snipers and all kinds of shit like that. They really mixed it up a lot. So check out Heavy Gear. I think Heavy Gear 2 was the one I played, but there might even be a newer Heavy Gear. I'm not sure.
Heavy Gear 2.
I think it's Heavy Gear. I could be wrong. My memory's garbage. So
It kind of looks like it.
2. Let's see. Yeah, Heavy Gear 2. That's the one. Anyway, that's the one I played. I wonder if there's any more. But anyways, that's mech games.
It looks like Battle War. Battle Armor.
Yeah, exactly. So it made it less look like the big blocks that were Mechwarrior and more humanoid, more like, hey, these are it just was nice to see a variant, from the standard. I can't put it better than a block, it's just like fucking children's block stopped on one on top of the other. That was Mechwarrior.
It looks like people just slapped things together and said, okay, that works. Send it out.
Yeah, because you could really modify a lot more in that game than you could in Mechwarrior, from what I remember. Like I said, one of my favorites was getting a light running mech that was like a spy type, and I could outrun other mechs, and I could like hide in like the hills and whatnot. And it was hilarious because everything was small compared to you, but you're like a big old mech hiding out on the mountainsides, spying on stuff. And I just thought it was funny. Or you take like a sniper rifle with you, a huge fucking sniper rifle, and just destroy shit from a distance. It was great.
Now, I'd rather have laser on my right, ballistics on the torso, and
they're heavy mechs too.
Shoulder.
Yeah, they were
Shoulder,
heavy mechs, but like I said, it was a nice change from only heavy mechs.
I just described the bushwhackers loadout. Whoops.
But yeah.
Bushwhacker.
Yeah, I just think of the wrestling guys. The
Yeah, that's what I
bushwhackers.
was thinking too.
That's where my brain goes.
The bushwhackers, and they move their arms.
They're all stupid,
Yeah,
like
They were called
the
the sheep herders or something before that. But
bushwalkers, and you had British bulldogs at the same time. I remember those. Yep.
Davey Boy Smith, he died.
Bushwhacker is my favorite mech since Mechwarrior 3.
Yeah.
Even though the arms can get destroyed easily, it's fun mech. One of every weapon type.
Yeah. Arms fall off and legs and all that stuff.
Do they have one called the Monarch? Oh no, that's Titanfall 2. I'm sorry.
Mechwarrior. What was it?
Titanfall 2 is coming out with some
kidding.
new update where they have a mid-range like mech that they're going to be doing.
Marauder.
Is that what it is? I thought it was called
no.
Monarch.
Monarch, yeah.
Okay,
Monarch.
You're confusing me, Volts. No, it's called the Monarch, but it's that, and then like another game type that no one gives a fuck about. Like, look, until it is fucking Frontier Defense, I don't give a shit. I just don't care. Like, here's another, and you know what that new game type is? It's an escort mission. So I'm like, why the fuck does nobody wants to play that?
Yeah.
We just don't protect this thing. I think it's an escort. I could be wrong. I played
Titanfall 2 for about a month and I got bored.
Yeah,
I just got bored.
It's neat.
Yeah, it's neat, but
Count?
bored. Yeah.
Apparently, within the MechWarrior lore, the Monarch is a civilian dropship.
Oh, okay. I was making a joke.
No, Volts is gonna he's gonna search it down.
Volts is not gonna have. He's not gonna have any of.
I'm
No,
gonna tell you what.
this.
You're gonna make a joke. I will ruin your joke.
Yes. Volts the joke ruiner.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very good joke to ruin. So yeah, let's. I'm sorry.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Let's talk about
Dead Cells.
Yeah, Dead Cells. There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Tell us about it.
That game, 2D, fun as fuck.
Yeah.
What
It looks
I
great.
gotta say? But punishing as hell.
Yeah.
That's what else I could say.
It's a 2D action platformer, right?
Yes, a 2D action platformer. You could say that's a 2D Dark Souls game, but it's much faster than a Dark Souls. I would say it's a 2D Bloodborne.
Yeah. Okay.
Essentially, you start off with one weapon, and after the intro area, you get to choose between a bow and a shield.
Right.
At first, I chose the shield, then I thought, safe distance, bow.
Right. So you get a few different ways. There's no magic or anything, right?
There are magic items that you can use. I think the Ice Blast is one of them, but that takes a while to charge up and blast it out.
Okay, so when I was watching, you were playing with mostly just melee because you chose to?
Probably because I chose to, also because it seems to be the most viable.
Okay, all right.
I have tried. I mean, you can't go with all range. So I tried that, but of course I got my ass kicked.
Yeah. Okay.
There's the kunai, which is a bleed weapon. Shotgun crossbow, which you have to be a boss for. And an unlimited ammo bow, which apparently was one of the rare blueprints I managed to get near the start.
Yeah, I remember that. So the whole premise is like what? You're like an alien, or?
I don't know what you are.
I don't think anybody knows what you are.
I don't know.
What I'm trying to do is get you to describe what the game is like for people that have never seen it before.
Okay, so you're a green blob that
there you go.
Falls from a pipe and then goes into a dead body and possesses it.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird.
When I saw that, I figured, you get to play as different bodies.
That would have been really cool.
Yeah. And your cells is basically you. If you die, you start from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I thought at first, but no, you play as the one body, and you're stuck with that body until that body dies, and then you're back to the start.
So why is it called Dead Cells?
You collect cells from enemies, I guess, is the thing.
And then what do you do with them?
Well, you use the cells to upgrade yourself. Well, partly upgrade yourself and partly unlock weapons for you to collect in the future playthroughs.
Yeah. It's not like a really deep story or anything, right? It's just it's mostly action based.
Yeah.
But also,
you go to this guy.
isn't it in early access too? So it's like
Yeah.
Yes.
it's still a lot
That
more
too.
development they have to do. Yeah.
You get a message saying that this is a early access, and you get an animation of your character running headless.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
Weird
pretty
animation.
good-looking game. It played pretty well. I mean, for early access, I mean, it plays like a finished game, really.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Did you come up with any problems with the game?
No.
Like no crashing, no like, oh, I got stuck, or any of those dumb things, repeating
No.
like sounds for no reason, that kind of stuff.
Aside from enemies throwing things through walls, that's it.
Oh, maybe
I
they
think
were
that's
intended to.
intended.
Yeah.
I still hate that.
Yeah.
Through the walls, especially when you don't see them.
Yeah.
Yet.
Sounds like Dark Souls.
It sounds like a lot of other games too, because that happens
Yeah.
in Mass Effect too. You be just firing at something, and all of a sudden you just see this blue light over you, like what the fuck? Through a wall, hit you.
Oh.
Mass
Isn't
Effect
that just a
Andromeda.
bug, though?
Andromeda, yeah. Pardon?
Isn't
I didn't
that
hear
just
you.
a bug?
No, that actually is supposed to be, because what they want is that because they created so much mobility that you can go fly up, across, forward, backward,
Wait, your
with your
character can
jetpacks.
fly? Oh.
fly up,
Jetpacks.
not fly constantly. You can
Okay.
fly up in the air and then you kind of land back down, or you could jump up and then fly forward. Basically, what they want to do is that they made the enemies flush you out of cover. So not all cover can withstand damage, and not enemies. If you stay in cover for too long and they can't get at you, they'll throw grenades, or there's a particular class of enemy that can flush you out by shooting a beam that goes through any physical cover objects.
Okay, yeah.
So it's kind of a way, I guess their way to just encourage you to just be mobile, and I like it. Works.
Yeah. That reminds me. There's a thing like that in Vanquish as well. And I mentioned that when I was playing. I was like, this game does not want you to stand still at all. Because, like, I would be like, okay, I'm going to kind of take some cover here, and then an enemy would shoot me through the cover. And I'm like, fuck you! Just, some big beam weapon that they telegraph, and I just was like, no, I'm just going to be in my cover, and it'll hit the cover. Nope. Don't stand
Straight
still.
through.
Yeah, do not stand still. They want you to keep moving. So
Yeah, that same guy killed me when I played today too. One of those
son
young
of a
guys
bitch,
just shoot out the chest. I was like, okay, I'm here. I'm like, what's he doing? Oh shit, that's that thing. Ah.
yeah, what pisses me off about that one specifically is I know it. I can tell it's telegraphed. You can hear it. You could see it, and I still was like, I'm not gonna move.
You're too distracted from everything else.
There's a lot going on. There really is.
Yeah.
And when you get hit, you get really hit pretty hard, even on normal.
Yeah.
It's like you really got to pay attention to where you're going and use your rolling a lot more than I was. So roll like it's Dark Souls,
Except you have infinite stamina in that.
Keep rolling. Yep.
Keep rolling.
Yeah, you have unlimited stamina, exactly.
Same with Dark Souls. Back to that topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess I could talk about the dodging. You can pretty much dodge wherever the fuck you want. There are small crevices you can dodge underneath, but the limitation for that is there's a slight delay between your dodges. So, and because enemies can easily telegraph, it's sometimes hard to time your dodges when there's multiple enemies trying to attack you.
Right, yeah, it can get
So
pretty
you could-
hectic.
And it has the same health regeneration as Bloodborne. You take damage, you have this red bar that slowly drains away, and if you attack enemies, you regain that back.
Yeah, they promote attacking a lot.
Yes.
Gotcha.
But there were some enemies that seemed to have a two-shot at me.
Yeah.
So that red health didn't really help me in those moments.
Right. Yeah, there's no point. All right.
And also, one upgrade is mandatory in order to unlock everything else is the potion. You only get one use, and then 2 uses, and then 3 uses as you upgrade it.
Gotcha.
So I think the highest you could get is 5 uses.
Oh, okay. All right. That's kind of like Estus flasks
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, but you can only refill it at the end of the level after you've done your upgrades.
Cool. Right. Yeah, okay.
I like the dual twin daggers. Every third hit is an increased damage.
Yeah, that was interesting. There was one of those, some weapon you had that every time you would hit, not every time, there was a chance that when you hit something, a grenade would come out. Or something like that.
Every time you attack, a grenade would pop out, but it wasn't every attack. It just, after its cooldown went away, you can throw another one. And there were other weapons that if you attack, you get bolt, and if you kill an enemy, those cute little maggots come along.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was a weird one, too. It had some really neat, like, different kind of things going on with the game. Yeah. So.
Yeah, when the grenades pop out, that's called the pineapple surprise.
Ha.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually the thing. That's what it is in Marvel Heroes. So,
Well,
Deadpool.
can I talk about something
Sure.
else? I know it's community-based.
Uh-oh.
Comparing Mechwarrior Online to community, how they were so calm.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I got myself Overwatch. It's on sale right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's on sale. Yeah.
I was
you bought
unprepared
it.
for the toxicity.
Yeah.
Oh. How can you not be?
I've seen a lot of shitty videos out there.
Yes.
A lot
Yes,
of them.
I have
Canadian.
as well. I was expecting it, but fuck, when you're on the receiving end of it, it's just okay. That I wasn't prepared for.
Yeah.
I picked some it.
Yeah, it's like League of Legends. Yeah, I mean, fuck that.
Just turn it. Can't you turn it off? Like turn off audio?
Yes, you can.
There you go.
Oh, I'm gonna try Reaper. Why not? I mean, fuck it. My first time play as a basic character. Playing Reaper. You're fucker or some shit.
Yeah.
Well,
And at
nobody
this point-
nobody thinks anybody else plays the character right.
Well, here's the thing. At this point, those people have been playing it for a while, so they should be used to it, you know? It's not like it's the first time they have to deal with people playing Reaper. They probably do it themselves, so... And it's a character in the fucking game. Why would you not use it?
Yeah. And on the opposite team, whenever they win, they just said, "You're just mad." Another word for instead of EZ, it's a GR now. Get wrecked. So if it's not, so if one thing gets censored, they can find another way. So.
Oh, yeah.
Enough of that.
Yeah, but they censored stuff in that game. Like people were criticizing each other with some harsh terms, and they made it so if you type that in, it would change it to something else. Like, you know,
Oh, yeah.
good game.
Please don't tell my
Nice
mommy.
playing with you, or whatever. Yeah, please
Yeah.
don't tell my mommy or something. But I mean, all I was gonna do is just make them find different ways to say nasty things.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, the mere fact that they had to do that means that there are some nasty players in the game. But I
Given
think y'all
that
saying, you know,
there's
like
so
League
many
of Legends
players,
and
you
this
know?
game, but I think it's just a matter of you could take any game and just say if there's competitiveness in it, there's toxicity.
Yeah,
Yep.
that and you put the numbers behind it too. Like the mere fact that it just has a huge population, you're going to get more of that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's
So-
like opportunities, you know? For people, it's like, hey, I've got a huge crowd to like entertain now. Look at me. So
Yeah.
So it's
this just like when I first started playing Warframe, like that when it was very in its infancy.
Yep.
And they were a lot more helpful and people trying to figure out the different things in the game and pointing out
Yeah.
things. And as the game got bigger and bigger, more and more toxicity came with it.
yeah.
originally it was thought to be the best community in the world.
Well, it was for a while. It was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
But now toxicity is part of its like life force. They embrace it and say that that's just their passion.
Yeah.
My passion is
Right.
beating children.
So it's an odd transition from
It's
going
not
from
illegal. It's my
chillest-
passion. Not
from
that
the
it's
chillest
illegal to be
fucking
salty.
Mechwarrior Online to the toxic as fuck.
Right. So it's not that it can't happen. It's just that Mechwarrior Online is filled with old guys.
Different weapon groups. You got so many.
Actually, you know what,
Different weapons, so
Johnson?
many
You
different
you
builds.
laughing?
Uh-huh.
You're laughing, but that's probably 100% true, which
Well-
makes it even funnier.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it because it's not true. Every joke, there's a little bit of truth in it, you know?
Yep.
So, yep. Because
I honestly don't see young people playing that game
nope.
as feverishly as like a Overwatch.
Because it doesn't have a feverish pace. That's why.
Yeah.
It's more tactical, and people. This goes back to that article you were talking about a while back, or you linked to something about like older gamers don't really play FPSs or like or they don't really feel the want to or care to. They don't really feel that competitive need. And I was like, that makes sense because a lot of those games have to do with reaction and jumping into things without thinking a lot of the time. You just charge in, and that mirrors real life war. That's why young guys are soldiers and older soldiers are tacticians because they're like, I recognize the death now.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
also,
true.
I don't have the fucking alertness and the speed of, on the trigger that a 12-year-old would have. What do you think? Child soldiers make some of the best killers out there, because they have, they're unrivaled speed and targeting. So, yeah.
But they have no real focus. So then when the older guys step in and say, "Oh, listen, we need you to go over here and take over this place," they know if we take over this area, then we can move to this area and we can flank these people. You're not looking at that. You're just looking at the murder, death, chaos, mayhem, and they see the big picture.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. There was a game that was kind of similar that was based on that, where one character was like telling the groups where to go. He was saying like from an overview.
Yes.
And then everybody else was playing. I
It's
can't remember
like
the game,
a
but
marine/alien kind of game. I know what you're talking about. They even made a part 2 to it. And I thought it was really cool, but it never really went anywhere. Gosh.
I think it was a bit too reliant on, that one person giving good strategic commands and then other people actually following the command. So that might have been the issue. But I think to me, that strikes me as the kind of game where you have to have a mixture of kind of a young and old kind of mentality.
You just have to have people that want to work together, and don't mind taking orders. Nobody likes doing that. But when it's a win, even among us, even in B3, we've had groups, and the way that we handle things is never the best. Sometimes it works well, and sometimes it's just like, I don't even want to tell this person to do anything anymore because they're clearly not listening, So I'm just not going to bother. And then that's when, we end up keep failing. And if we get lucky and win, we get lucky and win. But that's what it is. Because at the end of the day, if it's not fun, then, I don't want to play it. And I don't find it fun, like repetitively telling somebody to do something. I'm just like, no, let them have their fun. I don't want to ruin their fun just so I can have mine. That's, it's like
everyone focus fire on Bravo 2.
Focus fire what?
On Bravo 2.
Oh, Bravo 2.
He's issuing commands.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's a little bit more intense when you actually have like your own in-game language for stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Get ready for some toxicity in Destiny.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, that's why I don't plan on playing with other people. Like with Warframe, I only played with my clan, and if I stopped playing, in fact, I think that game was the game where I went from playing. When I first started, I played almost exclusively with pugs, and even up to a point, maybe about a year and a half in, and then I just stopped. I was like, I'm done with that garbage. I was like, I've had enough people telling me how they know everything and how they know how to play my stuff better, even though I've been there since Clue. All you name it, it was there. And I was like, I'm done. I was like, either I'm getting old or I'm just getting smarter and older. One of the two, because you don't need to deal with it. You really don't, And all I would focus on was becoming a better solo player, which if you're good enough to do stuff solo and survive, you're clearly better than the people that have to, run in there with a bunch of other people in order to survive, and they're only living because there's other targets to be shot at and not just themselves.
Yeah, what gets me about Destiny is you see a bunch of guys trying to build up their channels, Twitch channels with Destiny by saying, well, this was in the past, by saying, "Oh, I'm running noobs through raids."
Oh yeah,
and come on in and I'll run you through. And then they fail once, and they're like, "Oh my god, that guy's such a fucking sucky player."
Well, he is.
Boot him out. And I'm like, why are you advertising that you're going to be carrying people through raids, and then you rage quit when you fail?
Yeah,
what I mean, that's the whole point of you taking worse players through. I saw one guy he kept kicking the players that he was offering to. You know what I mean? It's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
It's because he thought he was going to be able to carry them straight through and do everything himself.
Well, see, it's either that or you'll run a group and then people get in there that think they're better than everyone in the group and they'll jump off like whenever they feel like it because they feel they're like I remember Phil and I were running a bunch of runs on it was during Christmas time. We were trying to get that one vest or whatever. Gosh, in the division.
Yeah.
Laura? Was it Laura or something? I can't remember the name of the
Barrett.
Boss. Barrett, there you go.
Yeah.
And we would have various people jump into our group. And see, I'm the player that I will suffer through the entire fucking run, and I want to make it work, even if it's bad. Like, I will try to compensate for everyone else's garbage. Whoever, let's say 2 new players come in, and they're both like, I'm going to run through as fast as possible because this is the way it's done. And they don't give a shit about what the group dynamics are. They're trying to do it the meta way. Like, I've got this specific gear. I'm going to run this specific route. And if you don't pick up for what I'm doing, you're the problem. I'm like, maybe. But at the same time, you're the one that can't fucking adapt to the actual group that you're playing with.
Right.
So who's the loser?
Like who exactly? Well, I would suggest getting a core team of Destiny players so you don't have to pug anything.
Yeah, that's ideal.
Support pack keeps me back.
Yeah.
That's one thing I hated about the original Destiny game is there's it's you have to have a group, and I didn't have a group.
Well, look,
I didn't have
they didn't have any matchmaking, group. Right?
Yeah, there's no matchmaking. There's matchmaking for fire teams, but not raids. And the fire team is the 4-man. The raids is a 6-man. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why the majority of the players missed out on raids, right? They even mentioned it themselves during that press thing. No, I found a lot of those things that they were talking about. Like, I expected to be blown away with some interesting things. It was a lot to take in, but some of those things that they were talking about were like, and now your shoes come with shoelaces. I was like, what?
Yeah,
okay.
it's kind of like, and now
that's why you don't call yourself an MMO, because you don't want to live up to the standard of being of other MMOs. Oh, I get it.
And
it's
now
an MMO.
Exactly what we should have done.
Right.
But they made it where you could get the highest gear level without doing the raid, though. I mean, eventually they did that.
Gotcha.
At the beginning, you couldn't do that.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of salty stories. There was this thing that came out on Twitter that and I don't mind, like, people hate naming, shame, whatever. I'm not shaming anybody, but I don't like being shamed over things that I don't know about. This guy was like, players are meme sheep for not knowing something that wasn't stated, right? So this guy, Professorbroman, I've never heard.
Yeah, he's like one of the big promoters in the Destiny community,
and that's cool and everything. But when you insult people for something that they're literally ignorant about, meaning that it was not something that was known until 2 hours before, but you're going to start insulting the entire fucking community just because
there's
you don't
a ton of elitism in Destiny.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care how much knowledge you have. I don't care how respected you are. Fuck you. You know, if you're going to call people shit for, like, we talked about it on the B3 last time about, like, oh man, peer-to-peer, that's going to suck, you know? But we had no information. Apparently what they're clarifying now, and it just came out that day, like, this guy didn't know either, but he's going to look down on people for not knowing, but nobody fucking knew until this article came out. Right. So Destiny 2 is going to use a hybrid client server and peer-to-peer technology, just like Destiny 1. Now, see, this guy... Well, this guy, was talking shit to people. Granted, Jim, on the other hand, was like, the right way to do it. He was like, hey, for everybody wondering, here's the information. Go check it out. And I was like, I retweeted that Professorbroman. I was like, why are you going to be talking shit to people? Basically,
he's a douchebag.
Right.
Yeah, he's a fucking douchebag.
And Jim was like, well, people, I was like, that's true, but I have a valid point too. I don't know who this guy is. I don't need to be entering the Destiny community and be talked down to. It's like, what the fuck are you on about, man? Nobody fucking knew what you're talking about. You didn't even know until this fucking thing came out. But you want to make yourself look like you're the fucking white knight around here? Get the fuck out of here. I don't care what level in the community you are. I don't care how much I don't know or I haven't played. I know you're an asshole. And I'm an asshole, so I know when I see an asshole. But right now, he took that asshole card away from me and fucking owned it. So I was like, Jesus Christ, man. But apparently,
he got invited to all the.
That's
he
cool.
got invited to all the like. He was on the like had their big. They had their first little expansion thing after a while. It's like 2 years ago almost, a year and a half ago, where they expanded Destiny a little bit. It was the first
awesome.
DLC in a while. He was on there, and and it's just a guy that makes himself a little too serious. He thinks he kind of owns the game.
I know the type. We've seen it in Warframe. There's a dude there in Mogamu that was the same fucking way. Yeah. But see, my thing was, and the reason why I would get pissed off like that Mogamu dude or this guy Broman is because I'm like, look, here's the point behind that status, quote unquote status, is you should be better. You should act better, And if you don't want to, then don't fucking take up the mantle of like being the community leader or whatever, Unless you want your community to be full of fucking toxic assholes. Hey, there you go. If you wanna counter toxicity by throwing the same thing back at them, what the fuck do you think what are you doing? I mean, that's cool with me. I don't give a shit. I'm just not going to give a fuck about what you say from, going forward. I'm going to do my own thing. Probably like most other games, But god damn, I was like, who the fuck you think you are? Anyways,
well, supposedly he was touted as one of the nicer guys in the Destiny community.
He probably hit his breaking point. Like Jim was saying, look, people have just been like pushing, all over, talking all kinds of garbage. But here's another thing I found out reading that article, just simply reading it. It says every event hosted by their servers, there's going to be so that means no host migrations, right? That they invested heavily in new server infrastructure for Destiny 2, including using cloud servers for gameplay. But here's the thing. They said that they're still using the same, that hybrid client server peer-to-peer, that just like Destiny 1. That's what it said, word for word. Destiny 2 uses a hybrid of client server and peer-to-peer technology, just like Destiny 1. So I'm like...
You're going to get backlash on that.
So if that's the case, then what's really different, motherfucker?
Right, exactly.
Because they didn't have a good time.
No, they had issues, and they still had issues with PvP.
Yeah, and that's what the guy asked too. Like, you can check out the article. I can give a fuck
about Destiny PvP. It was always a PvE game for me anyway.
Exactly. Like
I didn't see anything special about Destny's PvP.
No, I don't either. They throw it in there because you got to have PvP nowadays.
Yeah, you get some extra. You can like get some rewards and shit. They would have those events. The iron banana or whatever.
Well, see, here's the thing. What they should have done if they wanted to be on the edge of like, hey, this is what everybody wants to do. They should have done the Battle Royale scenario too then, Right. Because everybody loves that shit. Throw that mode in the game. How hard can that be? Make a decreasing circle of like, stay inside this circle and then keep moving. Yeah. Just throw your people in a big map and do that and they'll have a grand old time. You'll get a lot of people playing. So... Sorry, I had to get that off because I hate when that kind of shit happens. I actually kind of think
that's kind of one of the better PvP game modes that they have out there.
Battle
Royale thing. Yeah. I find all other PvP because I go back to like the Division and I just always find that whenever you have PvP, you always have these people that just cheese it.
Yeah.
But the Battle Royale type games, it's kind of like, well, you gotta fight this particular way. You can try to do these other tactics that might work,
right?
But the game forces you, it forces you to come together and fight at this particular point. It's like one guy's going to stand at the end, and I prefer to see that than the toxic,
the same old garbage
PvP that I see going on, where people run around like mad fucking chickens and jumping up and down in like the same new what's that game, the Quake Champions kind of shit. That was like, Every PvP game should have this thing where like, eventually the circle just comes in and you gotta be one person has to win, even if it's a team thing.
That's what I liked.
I think that would really force a certain degree of playing level out of people.
That's true. And the randomness, remember? Like you're never gonna get the same stuff. Like even if one thing worked for you before, you're not guaranteed to get the same stuff next time either. Like weaponry and all that. That's true. Yeah. And that's kind of what I liked about when I played the Division survival mode, because you were forced to congregate in certain spots. And so you could play that how you wanted. You could lose out on the loot or you could try to rush in early, Everybody started at ground zero. And if you work together as a team the way we were able to a few times, it could fucking work, It just, there were certain scenarios that we got screwed Count being fucking, come on, get me, I'm right here, and standing out in the open, fucking firing his weapon like a madman while he has
I don't
fucking.
need to wear a sweater.
I know.
I really wasn't crazy about that survival mode.
He had no weather protection on.
Yeah,
for the love of God.
I hate that.
No, you're like That's like a fucking.
I didn't know it was a thing. I mean, I was just like, I had just.
But see, it's kind of funny, and it's kind of like, oh my God, that's fucking badass that you made it that far.
Yep.
And you outlasted. I died before you did.
Actually, by doing that, right, you could have created a game mode that players would try to achieve where you don't put on any clothing and try to see if you can make it to the end. Yeah.
It was just out of ignorance.
For that extra challenge.
In Diablo, they called them naked runs. You would go through down to the dungeon as far as you could, naked. Yep.
Without
naked
the
mage
gear,
runs.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I didn't really care for that survival mode, I'll be honest with you. It was kind of tedious to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't for me. Yeah. I'm not saying it was bad. It's just not my cup of tea.
It wasn't my favorite game mode in that either. So
yeah.
But I didn't mind it. I liked the initial challenge, but I could see
going down in the subway. I really liked that. I liked those missions. Those that was more
those
my.
too.
Yeah, those were awesome. I thought.
I like the Division. I wish that it had continued development the way Rainbow Six Siege is continuing development, but that's just not the case.
Division's not a bad game at all.
It's not at all.
You know,
the PvP. I'm not counting that as part of the Division.
Right. Yeah, I'm just gonna say the PvP was bad. So that was not good.
I mean, Volts has a different perspective. I'm sure. You know, he played PvP. I played Dark Zone too, but I don't get the same thing that he got out of it.
As much as people want to, like the people who used to do it all the time want to defend it, that PvP was bullshit. I don't care what anybody tells me.
Look, you can be okay.
You can bring all you want, and they're gonna bring the facts and show you why it was absolute shit.
Like people can deal with the fact that there were people teleporting around. I'm not going to deal with it because I think it's garbage.
Yeah.
And if it was real life, I would really, stand up for it. But it's a fucking video game. I don't have to. I'm just like, this is bullshit. I'm walking away.
Yep. And PvP where you're not attacking each other and everything is cool, and then you just walk around the corner and then double back on me, or you just come around the corner and start shooting when you get that kind of heads up. That's not PvP. That's just yanking. That's all it is.
Right. And some people like that, they just don't like it happening. I was watching a dude that he would talk about. At first, I thought he was like, all right, he's actually stand-up dude, talking about like, oh, I don't want the ganking. But then I saw him do it a lot too. And then he would always justify it. And I was like, oh, fuck this guy. I see how the mentality of these people, that's how it is. They don't see that they're doing anything wrong. They're like, no, this is good fun. And fuck that guy for ganking shit. But every chance they get, they would do it too. So I'm like, all right.
Remembering back.
Yeah, you're not going to pass
back.
it up.
I think you were along with me, Janta. I saw you get murdered by a group of 4 because they decided to kill us. They killed us after the bags were hooked up onto
we were up on the roof.
Thing.
No, I knew it was going to happen. I knew it.
I think they expected me to put up a bag, but I didn't. And when they actually went ahead and killed you, I decided to hide. And I was talking to you, but I forgot one thing. I had my mic on in the game, and they were able to hear me.
Okay.
Oh, great.
Oh, God, I'm going to stealth these guys. Wait. My mic is on.
We've been listening to every word you said.
Yeah. Well, they were French, I think. So maybe they couldn't understand what you were saying anyways.
Actually, they were English.
Were they?
Yeah, they
I watched a lot of Dark Zone. I'm probably getting confused, but I know there were a lot of French Dark Zone scumbags out there because I would watch the channels. I got deep into watching the Dark Zone stuff because I was trying to find, can I come to terms with this? Like I didn't want to go around. Like some people were like, well, all you got to do is and I was like, I don't want to sneak around like a little fucking snake rat. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like a little bitch. So I want to see if I can do this, but. If you can't even have a good time unless you're being like a sneaky little stealthy, or like a Seeker Mine build, which by the way, apparently Seeker Mines are still ridiculous in Dark Zone. I kind of like how they were talking about on their latest, like that Matt Shotya guy. He was like, look, you got to give people that spec into tech something. If you're going to have everything in your firearms and you're going to be able to take down people like that, but you don't want tech people to be able to take people down? It's like you can't have it both ways. You can't have exactly what you want all the time. Some people got to have something else too. If they're going to put all their points into tech, then what, they get nothing. They get the damage of a grenade because people are saying that, a secret mine should only do the damage of a grenade. It's like, yeah, but what about the people that are sniping people from like halfway across the map, with 1 or 2 hits? It's like, so what do we do then? We gonna nerf everything? It's like you either get power or you get no power, and people don't want no power. They don't want the vanilla. So. Yeah.
It's what you do. Whatever weapon type you have, it stays on that stats. You have a preset stats, and any weapons get set to that stats. It only will... The stats you have, the weapon that you came in with, will only work on the enemies.
Yeah, that's
the
fine.
NPC enemies.
But what about the skills,
Skills, preset damage on players.
But then you're talking about vanilla stuff then. And that's what people don't want. They don't want like one like real basic capped level where everybody feels like they can do the exact same type of damage. That's not what people like. Well, PvP is about, being able to dominate. That's the whole point. They don't want to have to feel like they just barely got the win. They want to wreck everything. So
I find the fun moments in Dark Souls PvP to be the moments where you barely win.
Mm-hmm. True, but most of the time people like to dominate,
If I get a clear, concise win without even taking any damage, I would wait for the other person thinking, oh, God, I just owned that guy without a problem.
Yeah, it's like in Paragon. Why do people go after kills specifically versus doing lane work or doing jungling? Because they want the KD, It's all about getting more kills than anything else. It's not really about... That's just games in general. That's competitiveness, It just says, I'm a better person than you. That's what that says. Ultimately, that's what they feel, So I don't... That's why I don't care for PvP. I don't care for it anymore because I've already done all that stuff. I don't really care. But, yeah, I wish that... whatever. I don't really talk about this anymore. We've talked about the division many times in the past, so... But, yeah. So how many here are part of the Keystone Alpha?
Pardon?
Keystone Alpha. I have yet to play it.
Well, I can tell you who will not be part of it. Me.
Smart man.
You know why I won't be part of it?
I have an idea.
Because apparently they set it up in such a way that everybody is like, oh, everybody come sign up for their closed alpha. And then people who got into the closed alpha got their alpha, I guess, key or whatever, their access revoked. Why did it get revoked? Because apparently now it's only available for people who live in North America.
Oh.
So it's like everybody come, ice cream. Oh no, but it's not for kids. It's not for the elderly. It's like, they just start giving all the restrictions. Like, why the fuck would you do that?
Why did you?
That is some of the worst fucking PR I've ever seen possible. Hey, everybody, come get this. Oh no, but it's not for the black people. That kind of. It's kind of like.
Well, this. What this screams, right? This screams standard digital extremes planning, meaning we didn't plan.
Yeah.
This is their normal fucking operating procedure. This is standard operating procedure for them. They do something, they don't fucking think it through, the consequences come up, and then everybody's like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh, this is standard digital extremes garbage. That's what it is.
Yep. Anytime you see people doing giveaways, and they would say, oh, well, I can only do giveaways for, America. Or they say, oh, this is an international giveaway. I can ship it to anywhere in the world. Just make sure you check the laws in your country for giveaways.
Yep.
Because we don't want that you receive it, and then they say, no, you can't take this in this country. They state this stuff up front. Where the fuck was that?
They just don't think anything the goddamn through.
But I'm just thinking, how could you miss that step?
Well, apparently they don't even have security because somebody walked into their goddamn office one day and got a chance to. The guy was like, this was a post on Reddit. I don't know if you knew about this account, but there was some guy walked into Two Extremes.
Digital Extremes.
Yeah, ate lunch with them. Hey, what's going on? Hey,
I'm a dev.
Yeah. Just fucking sat around in the fucking lunch area, who knows what, and then looked at the game and all that. And then made an entire post on Reddit. First off, this guy's a little piece of shit. I'd love to just fucking choke slam him.
Yeah.
But outside of that, they're fucking dumb for not having their, like, Rooster Teeth is in Austin. They're like, digital media, whatever, YouTube stuff, right? They have security. Right. Mm-hmm. They talk about, like, no, we got to have key cards, all that shit. People can't just come in here. We can't even give tours most of the time because there's stuff we're working on that people can't see. So every fucking, like, Digital Extremes has a responsibility to the people that they're producing content for as well, not just their own shit. Like, if their own shit gets out there, that's one thing. But they're producing stuff for other producers, publishers as well. I forget who it is right now that they're doing stuff for, but there's another company that they're doing stuff for. No, not necessarily. I meant another one, but I can't remember who it is that they're working on assets for. It's out there. You'd have to just look it up. I just forget the name of it. But yeah, so they have a responsibility. It makes them look fucking stupid, but also makes them look not trustworthy when it comes to development.
That's just crazy. Somebody got in there.
Yeah,
that's basically with any kind of, you know what I mean? Any kind of workplace. I mean, not just a video game developer.
If I just walk into your workplace and I'm just fucking around, who the fuck am I?
Why am I in there? We have turnstiles that are only activated by our cards.
Right. Yeah.
And
this guy just followed the dude in. He just followed the dude in.
He's just
that guy knew he was there. He's like,
all right,
come on in. Yeah. Fucking stupid.
I mean, what they should do is they should require them to wear their ID badge like on a thing around their neck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a strap. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, lanyard.
Yeah. And a lot of people do that where I work. But I worked for a utility company office one time, and man, that place was like a fortress.
Yep.
Some angry person would come up, and hell, they call a fucking SWAT team.
Yep. Yeah, I worked for
how much of a fortress?
One time, and we had to do the same thing. We had to have our ID on us, like open, like on our shirt or whatever, right there. When we were going into the building, we had to have a key card.
Yeah.
I scan fingerprint to tongue print. They forget to clean the tongue print.
Well, to me, all it just screams up is just poor planning all around for everything that they pretty much do. I'm not trying to trash them, but they just do that stuff.
I know.
It's just
in Canada. They don't expect anything bad to happen, right? So
I don't know, man.
I don't know. Well, you think that people can just walked in the wrong? Sorry, wrong building. Sorry, I'll go back out.
Well, according to Michael Moore,
assholes everywhere in the world, no matter where.
No, but according to Michael Moore, Canada is so much better than the U.S. that everyone just leaves their doors unlocked everywhere, according to his documentary.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Jesus Christ, what the fuck was I going to say?
But we were talking about the Keystone game. But anyway, to me, it kind of sounds like a mixture of Team Fortress 2, Overwatch, Paladins, and Dirty Bomb. So I'm just kind of
been saying Paladins, right?
Yeah,
I didn't
even know about it. That was the first I heard about. I'm trying to figure out
where is going to actually fit in, because they also state that's going to be a competitive kind of game, and then you get cards. I'm like, to me, it just strikes me as a cash
oversaturated market.
Yeah, it's an oversaturated market, and the concepts that they have where you get in cards and stuff for it.
So it's like a deck building game infused with a first person shooter?
Well, it's like Paragon, but first person is what it sounds like to me.
Okay.
And here's the thing. They already make cards for Warframe. That's your mods. So here's the other thing. When I got the launcher and I started the launcher up, it's the same launcher as Warframe's launcher. Some of the same graphical assets as well. I'm like, this is what we're doing? I was like, come on, guy. But it is like, it is like a alpha, whatever. So anyways, but yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much all I got. If you guys got stuff, please,
But did you actually get to play the game, though?
No. It's going to be Monday. I'm going to not be able to say anything about the game. Like, you can see all this, like, whatever stuff on their forums. It's just like 2 pages of stuff, but that's about it.
Oh, so it's like a closed beta where they have an NDA on it.
Mm-hmm, they do.
You can't stream it or anything.
Yeah.
I think the same time I'm going to be able to play Lawbreakers, but that I can stream. So Lawbreakers, I'm not going to lie, it looks fucking good. Like Volts, if you think you like Quake Champions or whatever, Lawbreakers is basically that, but with like a goal. Like you have a point and you have a team, and it is fucking fast, dude. If you haven't seen any gameplay, go check it out. Number one, it looks good. It looks really good. It's like for people that might want to play Overwatch but don't want to play with the stupid shitty graphics, like in Overwatch. It's like, I look like a baby.
I can deal with the graphics.
Yeah, most people can. I can't because there's something wrong with me, and I think that looks like childish stuff. So, it's because the 90s. Everything was edgy and dark in the 90s, Batman.
My one thing, though, is that, like, their gameplay footage that they always showed off looked really cool.
For who?
And for Lawbreakers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But I know they sped things up in terms of actual gameplay.
Dude,
a lot faster
yeah.
stuff.
You haven't seen any of the latest? It's real fast.
But when I played the first, because I got into the first, I guess, alpha or beta or whatever for it, I didn't like it. It felt clunky.
Yeah.
It was kind of slow.
Now go watch the new stuff.
Fucked.
Yeah, go watch the new stuff. It doesn't look like that at all. Everything looks real
but
smooth.
I'm saying that from what I've heard, they changed a lot of stuff. So I'm hoping for their sake, because I don't ever hope for game to be shit. The same thing for like Keystone. I hope that it actually turns out to be something good. But with like Lawbreakers, I hope that the changes that they made actually made the game way better, because what they had initially, it really felt like it was not going to be able to compete with any other game.
And this is you
like
without having seen any of the new stuff, and this is me having only seen the new stuff. So I don't really know either. I don't know how much is different either. I couldn't say.
Isn't Lawbreakers the game that has the evil versions of the good characters? Or am I thinking of something else?
You're thinking of something else.
Okay.
The Lawbreakers is the one where something happened and it fucked up gravity.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, gravity zones.
It's a really loose premise. There's not it's mostly about the action, and people compare it to like so it's like really fast Quake meets Overwatch, or basically team gameplay with like really fast movement.
No.
I thought when you picked it, you have a good side and an evil side.
Meets Titanfall.
Something like that, yeah.
And I thought that the good character, like any good character that you can pick, that like you can have an evil version of that character if you're on the other team.
I don't think it had.
I'm thinking of something.
I'm not going to say
something
no,
else then.
But I don't really.
That's fine.
know.
I'm just thinking of something. I'm thinking of another game.
I just don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I saw some recent footage, and it didn't have anything like that in anything recent that I saw.
Folks, it didn't really remind me of Titanfall. Like the movement's not based on wall running; it's based on swinging.
No.
Yeah. And then there's like there's an area in one map that I saw that was anti-grav, and you can like use your gun to shoot you around, like to propel you, which was fucking cool.
That's cool.
That I didn't know.
And all the characters don't have that like lasso to whip kind of the throat. That's
they don't?
One particular. No.
Oh.
That's one particular character that has that. Different characters have different like little abilities and skills that they can use.
Oh, okay.
If I remember this one with a jetpack.
Jetpack?
Yeah.
Yeah, and aim it forward, and all of a sudden you're flying around like a jet.
Huh. All right, cool. Well, it's something to look. If you haven't seen any of the new Lawbreakers, in fact, actually, we talked about a dude. There was a streamer. Kotaku did an article on this one streamer where some guy flew from Korea to like showed up at this guy's house at like 2 a.m. or something like that. Elohim or whatever.
Elohim, yeah.
Elohim. I saw his footage of Lawbreakers of all things. I was like, "Hey, you're the idiot." But well, because you know what he did, Count. Look at the stupid shit. So this guy used to be a cop, apparently, right? And so this kid shows up, right? And he's like, "All right, you got to go away, right?" So the kid's just like, "All right, whatever." So he goes and he camps out behind his house. The kid does, right? That same night. And apparently his brother calls this guy up, the ex-cop, Twitch streamer guy now. And he's like, "Look, there's kid back there, you know." He's like, "Oh, man." So, what would you do, Count? What would you do if there was somebody not on your property, but you knew they were stalking you, pretty much is what it was. They had come from another country, and they were trying to like, "Hey, man, you got to let me stay here because I'm trying to start my life new, and like, I think you can help me out." What would you do?
What?
Yeah. like a fanatic kind of young
What
kid.
would I do?
Yeah, what would you do if somebody just showed?
Call the police.
Right?
Yeah, I mean...
And this guy's an ex-cop. You know what he did? Do you know what he did? He went to Twitter.
Why? He was hoping Twitter was going to call the cops? I mean, I
don't understand. Maybe that's why he's not a cop anymore. Because he made bad decisions. Why would you go to Twitter? Come on.
I have no idea.
And this was in the article. I'm not making anything up. You know, he was like, I felt bad for him, so I put on Twitter like, hey, there's this situation. What do you think I should do? And then somebody was like, look, I'll pay for that kid's ticket home, plane ride home. This is insanity.
Yeah. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, you can't. But
the
you
guy
can't,
might be a great guy.
The guy wasn't on his property, though, right?
Well, you would still call the cops saying, look, I would.
You gotta be careful what state you're in, though. If you're in Florida, they can shoot you.
No. For the kid, well, they're not shooting me. They're shooting the kid.
That's what I'm saying. The kid.
Right. Well, I'm fine with that. I don't know if that kid's gonna try to axe murder me. Showing up at fucking 2:30 in the morning.
Don't they have a stand your ground law? Like if
it was Texas dude and he showed, he'd be dead.
Yeah, you could go out and confront him, and if he was belligerent toward you could shoot him.
Yeah, I mean it's very tricky. Like he'd have to be on your property in Texas still. In fact, it's better if he comes into your house.
Like in Florida,
you're fucked at that point.
In Florida, they have a stand your ground law.
One thing I will say about I haven't seen the same guy Alheim and seeing him do different things in his streams. Like before knowing about this, he does seem very compassionate to a fault.
Yeah, that could be why he's not in that job anymore. That's not a good job for compassionate people at all.
Because he seems like the kind of person that would, if somebody reaches out to him that he doesn't know, he will try to help them, even though he doesn't know them, or doesn't even know if they're gonna. Yeah, and I think that's really good. But again, it's
to a point.
I think it's like kind of to a fault because some people will try to take advantage of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, people take advantage. They try to take advantage of. Look, Eddie is like a tiny channel on Twitch. Yeah, Eddie Ammo. He has a small channel. Mm-hmm. People try and take advantage of him. He was saying, like, he was like, all right, he felt bad for somebody, so he gave them like a card, a Steam card, or something like that for playtime, or I don't know what it was. And then that person was like, again, he's like, you know what? No, you didn't even say thanks, whatever. He's like, fuck you. People will do that to anyone that they feel that there is a vulnerability. It's just what it is. There's some people that just don't have I give a shit about other people, switch in their head or meter, Yeah. So it's just not, they can't even think that way. It doesn't even cross their mind. That's why they can easily do it,
I've noticed some people coming like to my small stream and
Hey, Count, can you lend me $10?
Well, they see that you have they see that you have that you have some hardware, and they make assumptions about your financial situation.
Right. Yeah,
like you just are giving away money.
Shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, and they would probably hesitate to do that with a popular streamer because they just like go.
They might just get drowned out.
Yeah, but they think that since you're a smaller streamer, you might try to help them out or something. But the guy that came in the other night and was asking me a bunch of questions about all my hardware, and I don't mind the questions.
That's why I started making jokes about.
Well, I was trying to troll him. He asked me about my desktop, and I started telling him about my table that the stuff was on. I knew he meant my computer, but I started describing what table I had.
Well, you said no, that guy's okay, and so I didn't start.
Yeah, that guy's okay, but
I would have kept going. But you were like, no, that's fine. And I was like, oh, this must be an old buddy of his. Never mind. I'm not gonna bother.
No, I don't.
I honestly find that to be really strange. I guess again, it might be because I am older than a lot of people that might be going and watching Twitch streams. Mm-hmm. But I find it real odd when people come and it's like, hey, what's your build? What's on your system? And not your build as in in the game. Like, what kind of system you use? What's your hardware? What are your specs?
Well, I have everything listed below, and
I don't find too weird.
Honestly,
I find this stuff weird.
I've done that. I've done that, actually. I've gone and asked a guy what microphone he's using because he sounded really good. And I said, hey, man, what
this guy was going through the entire thing, though.
Yeah, but he was...
Right, I was saying, I can fully understand you said that you go on and you say, hey, I do stream as well. I see you got your mic sounds really good. What kind of mic? I could fully understand something like that. But somebody saying, all right, what kind of system you use? oh yeah, so now the mic, and then it's just like I was like, dude.
Yeah, well, one thing's okay.
All of this shit.
Some of the hardware was okay.
Everything.
But then when he said that thing about like, oh, I got that Blue Yeti, and that's why I made the comment I did, kind of calling him out. I was like, well, the only people that would have a Blue Yeti is people that would actually. He was talking about like he wanted to set up a stream. I was like, well, why the fuck do you have a Blue Yeti?
Yeah, I mean,
that's not a standard fucking piece of equipment.
He's got to know a little something about good stuff if he's got a Blue Yeti. Yeah,
see,
exactly.
Here's my problem: is I'm paranoid to shit about everybody.
Yeah.
But I grew up in that environment of like everybody's trying to con your ass because that's what it was.
See, my issue with that, though, is that the reason I find it very odd and strange is because there are people that always try to figure out where people live.
That's the things that I don't.
And I'm like, why are you trying to get all misinformation? You're trying to figure out what's in my house, like where you can come and get. So I'm just like, I just find. It doesn't really matter. I'm not going to
usually tell them what town I live in, but I tell them like what state. I mean,
But my whole thing is it doesn't fucking matter what setup anybody has. You can do numerous different configurations. Find out what works for you, because what this person has is not going to fit your budget.
Yeah,
you can't go to a big streamer. A big streamer has accumulated that stuff over months or years.
Just go to YouTube and search
they got stuff donated to them. You know, people give them computer. Having your specs and all that stuff, to me, I find that to just be bullshit. If you want good specs, go. They got plenty of YouTube videos and channels that show you what kind of hardware you should put in your system, how to build a new gaming rig. So I find all that whole thing about asking somebody about their setup to be just bogus. I know some people do want to get some information and they want help.
What he was getting at, what he was trying to get at, Phil, was he was trying to get people to come over to his stream is what he was eventually getting at.
No shit. I missed that part. I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, he was starting to mention the stuff that he was getting, and he goes, oh, you could check me out sometime. Later on, he was like, oh, you can check me out sometime.
That's bullshit. I didn't even see that.
Well, I mean,
so we talk about... At least he did a conversation builder, and he followed my channel.
There you go. That's what I was going to say. We talk about like people if at least they start something. Yeah, you're cracking up here.
I'm getting up and down on my connect. Yeah, my connectivity's going up and
down. But
at
least he did put some time in. You know what pisses me off about like when people watch your stream count? I'm like, these motherfuckers talking shit to you or telling you shit. I feel like telling. That's why I started in on that. Like, okay, 1,000. You want to see him play another game? Where's the money?
Yeah, $1,000. Yeah.
It's like, you fucking little fucks. Me and Graham will be tipping out the ass over here with bits, and these bastards are fucking sitting there with a free ride.
Yeah, exactly.
And not even contributing anything decent to the conversation other than like, you suck. Why can't you hit the ball? It's like, get the fuck out of here, you fucking cunt. Or
you don't have throw some bits on your batting. And
50 bits per insult. Go. I'm down with that.
Call me all day long. Sure.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Hey guys, go watch my channel.
Wasn't one of his first things that
what do you see?
Hey, he goes, I got like 300 subscribers on my channel, and then he started out asking count all this stuff about his hardware.
No shit.
Yeah.
I was in and out of that stream.
Mm-hmm.
I was in and out of that stream. Huh.
I'm going to disconnect and come back real quick. Hold on.
All right. I know we're getting near the end of this anyways. It's about 2 hours and 17 minutes. We're near the end. I got one other thing I forgot to talk about, but
I got one thing I didn't get to talk about.
Yeah, go for it.
Have any of y'all seen the Far Cry stuff that's been released for it? Far Cry 5?
I've seen a little. I know a little.
I've seen the picture.
Yeah, so they put they put this promotional picture out, and it shows like these kind of like looking, because it's supposed to be set in Montana, so it looks like almost kind of like a redneck kind of
backwards.
And these are the antagonists, kind of backwards. They look kind of religious. They got the American flag draped over the table,
right?
But it's not really an American flag because it's got crosses where the star is supposed to be, but it's the whole everything else looks exactly like that. And these are the antagonists, and they're coming across as like. It comes across again because they haven't said specifically if they're American religious zealots, and there is a lot of religious type stuff built into it.
There's a movie that Kevin Smith made, he directed, and it was actually not like any of his other movies, any of them. It's called Red State, and if y'all haven't heard of it, I highly recommend checking it out. It is pretty fucking cool. It's got John Goodman in there, and he plays a really amazing role. But he's not in the majority of it. He's in like towards the end. But even then, like he just turned into like an amazing actor at some point, you know. But yeah, Red State's it's basically what you're talking about.
Yeah. But my whole
scary
thing
as shit, dude.
My whole thing is that people are up in arms about this. Like, there are people
they're up in arms
posting
about
on IGN site, because you know IGN will put like, you know, the artwork or whatever, you know, because they cover game stuff, and like one person posted something saying
Sorry, go ahead.
What's that?
We're saying Wobotron. Sorry, we're trying not to.
Yeah.
That's what. Go ahead.
One person said that, you know, it's like, as a white American Christian, I'm offended by their portrayal of us as a people. This is incredibly prejudiced and racist, and I will have none of it.
They're not talking about them. They're talking about this.
No, they said, but don't support Ubisoft's attempts at cashing in on racism. Another person says, if this game is some anti-white SJW garbage, it's get a hard pass from me. Trying to force progressive politics in video games, and I'm like, they're tired of people trying to force, and I'm like, where did you put 2 and 2 together and get 11?
Yeah, this kind of like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the other thing too is like, when you look at some of the other promotional stuff, I'm like, did you really look at this stuff? And there's like, so it's done. And then my other thing is, this isn't a video game, but it's bad. But have any of you ever watched TV? Because this to me, like you said, that movie that you talked about, as well as there's a TV series called Justified, where it starts off with the exact same thing. The guy went to prison. He used to have swastikas and all that Nazi stuff on him. He came out, and he's, you know, claimed to find God and using the Bible to do his crimes and all that stuff. And I'm like,
right,
this is an old trope. This is what's going. But the problem is now is that they took it back. All the other Far Cry games were in, like, you know, Africa and or had an
island.
Basically had like either minorities or indigenous people,
right,
that were the antagonists. And people did complain about that stuff. You know, people always had their issues with different things like that. But I'm like, so now all of a sudden it was like, you know, white America now, everybody's freaking out about this stuff and saying, oh, you know, controversial this is. And I'm like, no, this is stuff that constantly has been portrayed in movies and TV.
Well, and that comes from him. That comes from real life.
And it's a history, you know, with people stockpiling guns.
David Koresh shit. That's the simplest one to go to right there. The easiest one to go to.
And then my other thing is the person saying, you know, this is portraying white Christian Americans as blah, blah. I was like, hang on, first things first. That's the same bullshit that they come up when they talk about, you know, like, all Muslims and they're terrorists and stuff. I was like, no. If you're doing that kind of stuff, you can't be a Christian.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're a zealot.
Yeah.
You're not
religious
you're
zealots.
not. Yeah. Yeah. You're not in the same. Yeah. Basically. And then when you watch more of the videos and stuff that they talk about the game, and they just talk about, you know, these people they said like they went to Montana and they saw that people in Montana had this very pioneer approach to things. Like, you know, it's like, we don't need the government to do stuff for us. You know, they were very, you know, like, we can take care of ourselves. But they said, like, you know, imagine if somebody came into that community and said, yeah, that's true. And then they riled up a bunch of people, but they were just crazy in the head. And they kind of, so this is like a projection of a possibility that is not happening. And they put it in a fucking video game that's not real life.
Right.
And people are getting, you know, up in arms about it. And I'm like, are you stupid? This is not reality. And if it it was reality at some particular points in time in history, and that is not. Nobody looks at those crazy people and say, "See, that's what Christians do." No, they say, "See, that's what crazy people do."
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's the difference. but you know, you also have this is the same age that we're in where Dead or Alive, beach volleyball, extreme or whatever is not good for anybody because it's perverted. So, you know, nothing is safe, man. All right. That's just, everything is bad for you. You know, they're going back to the 50s apparently, where everything is bad for you and just don't mention anything. Don't fucking talk. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. How do you think Germany feels with all the World War II games?
Yeah, exactly. Honestly,
like, every German's a Nazi. Exactly. Right.
Yeah, all the stuff is like, oh, Nazis are this and that. Always like, and there's all Germany or whatever. So you would think that Germany right now is just full of some hateful fucking people. But I've met people from Germany and they're cool. They're just like you and me.
Yep.
So it's only now that it's coming back and hitting close to home now for the same white Americans that it's kind of like, whoa, who's this game company portraying us as the bad people? But yeah, you know what? They're people. Anybody could be bad.
Forever time they're the evil of humanity, because that's just something that happened in their history. Every country's done some horrible fucking shit. Every fucking culture's done horrible shit. The natives in the United States and in Central America and South America were not fucking. I mean, you had Aztecs cutting the heads off of kids, and it's just, they're like, well, the natives, even in the northern United States, the natives, they were murdering the shit out of each other any chance they got. The bigger tribes would fuck over the smaller ones that were not as coordinated. That's just the standard of like human beings. Apparently, there was no happy grass dance. Like Louis C.K. makes fun of, like, oh, they were just happy and they were just dancing around. No, they weren't. They were fucking murdering the shit out of each other too. What is this Handmaid's Tale Wolbotron's talking about in chat? I've never heard of it. It's a new show, he says, is like that. Yeah, TV gets away with a lot.
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah, I'd have to check it out too.
I think it's on Hulu or something like that. It's on like
Hulu?
a different server. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Count Chocula unfortunately had to jump off because of bad storms.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's awesome having Count back for a bit. So, yeah, all right. Yeah, we're winding down anyway.
If any ever get a chance, just go and watch Justified. It's the freaking. It's Timothy Oliphant.
Oh yeah, I know
that guy. You know him as actor.
Didn't he play Hitman? He played in Hitman, the movie.
Yeah, he played in Hitman as well.
Yeah,
but watch this series. It's straight up just like what they're doing with Far Cry 5.
Right.
But it's hilarious and it's great. And I just think that if they can capture what they did with Justify, the TV series, and put it into Far Cry 5,
right,
it could probably turn out to be a pretty cool game.
Okay, so he's saying, Wilbotron's saying that it's basically what if the zealot Christians take over the U.S., which is happening already. So, but anyways, the important thing being like. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think it's just any group, nobody wants to be talked bad about, right? Nobody.
No.
So that's really what it comes down to.
But at the end of the day, you got to accept your shortcomings and
you have to be able to disassociate yourself from the extremes that you're not like. And that's what they're trying to, they're just trying to say, like, they're just trying to shut it down, though. That's a different story. That's like, you know what? I trained to be a ninja. Why are ninjas always bad in movies? I'm not a bad guy. I just do cool kick flips. What? Oh shit. Yeah, that's interesting, dude. We'll see what happens with that. I did hear about that, and I think. Well, yeah, go ahead.
But honestly, the game coming out next year, and if you look at any of the previous Far Cry games, like Far Cry 3, with the guy that was what was he like? Kind of like Latin American something or the other, and he was completely fucking off his rocker and was just like murdering people. I think it's just gonna happen. The same thing that happened to previous Far Cry games is gonna happen to that. There's gonna be a little controversy, and then people can fucking forget about it.
Yeah, well,
they can't build anything to back it.
Ghost Recon Wildlands, remember? They were like Wildlands, that country. What was it like? I don't even remember the name of the country.
Was it Peru or
Brazil? Or it's not Brazil. It's some smaller country. Yeah, Chile. Yeah. No, it's not Chile. It's no, it's not Bosnia. Basically, they were pissed at not all about drugs. God damn it! So nobody wants to look bad, and I understand that. That's what that is. Yeah. Shit. What is that? BioShock Infinite. That had some religious overtones, big time. Especially in the beginning, they were like, "We don't want to see this religious thing going on. What's this? Who are you trying to talk about here?"
Yeah, they had that. They completely changed how the founding fathers of America were. People were like, "Oh, you can't go and do that." It's like, Yeah, you can. It's a fucking video
you
game.
can.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, it's fake. It's fake. Last time I checked.
No, like they're trying to sell it as a history book.
Right. We weren't selling this as, that's a bit of that nationalism left over, though. It's like you can't make anything look bad because people don't know how to take that.
Yeah. That's like going to say, well, you can't have Nazi zombies.
Right.
You know, it's like, yeah, you can, because I thought of it, so you can have it.
You can have it. Nazi zombies in space. What do you want to think about that? So
Exactly.
robotic Nazi zombies in space. All right. Anything else? Anybody?
I know you bought
topic
2 games.
that's
I don't know if you want to talk about them.
I don't know. They're not in my mind. I don't have them on the list.
Okay.
I think you're talking about.
Well, one thing I could skim over quickly was
go ahead.
that Friday the 13th game.
Oh,
came
yeah.
out,
I thought he
and-
was going to talk about that.
Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know if Count played it, but man, that's getting some bad reviews, man.
What's
And
the other
I
game
can
that's
see why.
kind of like it, but not it, and people were really playing it for a
Dead
while?
by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, this got some issues, man. Like people complain, it's like, well, they took the franchise license and just doing whatever the fuck they want with it in a very lazy manner.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you know, I don't know how many of y'all watch Friday the 13th. I know John's have probably watched.
Yeah,
some of
I've
it.
seen a few of them.
But like they starting off the game where Jason just walks into camp and just slaughters one person, everybody runs off screaming. It's like, no, that's not how it worked.
Yeah, that's not how
You know,
it
he
worked
was
at
more
all.
methodical, and you know, you wouldn't know that you wouldn't see him until it was like, well, yeah, you're probably gonna die now. This is your scene where you can die. You know, it's like he would sneak the fuck up on you, but like he's teleporting across the map and with some weird fucking abilities and
Yeah.
the
Is it Jason or Freddy Krueger? Because that's more Freddy.
yeah, exactly.
Like Freddy could do whatever the hell he
Apparently-
wanted. Yeah.
The controls are floaty and clunky.
Uh-oh.
The
Would-
graphics, people saying look like if it was the previous generation of consoles.
Yeah.
The facial animations look god awful. Like one person said that it made Mass Effect look decent.
That's a level to look back at now. Funny.
Yeah, something that you would dislike, Janza, keyboard and controller mapping can't be reblamed.
Oh God.
It's like, really? Who does that in this day and age? You know?
I don't know. Dumbasses.
And the tutorials are just like how again, you know, they're trying to make changes to that. But remember how when you saw some tutorials that actually came into Warframe where it was just like a still screen with text? That's their tutorials in this too. You just see an image and it just has a paragraph of text. I'm like,
yeah,
really?
that's
that's
bad.
not gonna help you, sure.
But
the one thing it has going for it is that it has some pretty gruesome deaths.
All right, fair enough. That's where they put all their work. And then they try to rest their laurels on the name alone because they officially own the license.
But it looks like a glorified hide and seek game, and it costs $40. And Dead by Daylight does not cost $40, by the way. Dead by Daylight, I think it was like $20 or something. Yeah. So I think they're really reaching with this one.
Wow. Yep.
Jansen, just wondering. Would Jason be someone that would to cut someone apart and then to figure out the rest of the people, toss the head into the group, or leave the body there for someone to discover it?
Actually, both could happen. Both could
Because
happen.
I haven't watched any of the Friday the 13th stuff.
Both could happen, but usually the latter, the one about like he killed people that were not with the group first, usually, and then people would be like, "Hey, where's Carrie and Brad at?" You know.
They're probably out there doing naughty stuff.
You know Carrie and Brad. Carrie's such a slut. Yeah, exactly. And while this one's taking her pants off. Exactly. Yeah, I was joking in
teen angst.
Exactly. Well, more teen hormones at this, because I was joking in chat. I was like, so given if it's based on the movies, it's all about trying to bone down. Well, Jason's trying to murder you, right? So because hormones are strong.
So what I know is the teenagers are the ones that are looking after a bunch of kids, but they want to. But from what you're saying, they want to bone each other. Well.
Mostly it was about teenagers camping out at Crystal Lake, not really about the camp supervisors. You know, it was mostly just turned into like, we're going to go hang out at Camp Crystal Lake. Woo! woo, get drunk, yeah. And like I said, so it should be called Friday the 13th, The Need to Seed. Because that's really all those were about. They were cheesy. They were intended to be a little, not a little, but they were intended to be campy. And then they were intended for like a little bit of perverted stuff. It was like, ooh, I'm going to check out maybe a nipple. Who knows? So, and then some gruesome murder, It was not intended to be some amazing movie or anything.
Yeah, I think they missed out the opportunity to have a lot of those like old tropes that used to be in that.
Mm.
So going for the butt girl, but before you can actually leave the bush, suddenly arms missing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh man, you feel really weird. You're a little cold, and then next thing you know, Carrie's dead is the reason why. And, oh no, and then Jason chops your head off. So yeah.
Okay.
But like your character runs around in that game like just with a blank expression on their face. But then when Jason comes near, it's like their jaw completely drops and it's like over exaggerated way. And their eyes bug the fuck out.
Does Benny Hill music play too? You're running away.
I'm gonna link a clip of when I watched a stream of it last night.
Sweet.
Of what people were doing, because it was just a bunch of streamers and they were having fun with the game. And one guy was like Jason caught up to him and he was like, "What? No, don't kill me. I'll do a dance for you. I'll do a dance."
Oh,
and he's
man.
like, "Do," and doing all kinds of stupidness with the character. And he starts to twerk. And Jason's there watching him like, "Oh yeah, that's good. That's good."
But this is a problem now.
Just grabs him. Okay.
This is a problem where if a game is bad enough and people can have fun with how bad it is, then it becomes popular. Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
I hope that doesn't happen. But then they'll move on. The positive thing is they'll move on.
Sonic 06 all over.
I don't think that's going to happen with this one because it's got a lot of bad stuff in it, and the bad things are coming out really strong, and people are like, no, this, because you can't, like, unless you got like a bunch of friends that you want to just have fun and play with it, cool. But I think a lot of people can give this one a pass.
Okay, so if you really want to play that, go play. Is it Dead by Daylight? Was that the one where it was like you had one evil character that was trying to hunt down the other characters? Not the cinematic one.
Yeah, there's like one monster that was just hunting down everybody. And so that's the funny thing too, that they had different monsters that would like chase after like a hillbilly, a nurse, or whatever. Right. And then they actually added a character a while ago that teleports to where people are. So I'm like, so they took that and just gave that ability to Jason. This is kind of like, this is your direct rival, and you just added that into this. I don't know, it just.
The nurse has face warp, and I think this was after Friday the 13th beta gameplay.
Huh.
One of the enemies can place down little symbols, and if someone walks next to it, you can walk to that location.
Oh, okay.
And basically surprise them. Hey, motherfucker.
Yeah. Okay, so not a game to touch, basically. Yeah, Wobtron, I see in chat, he's saying, did we talk about Worlds Adrift beta? I see it on Steam here, but I don't see where you can get it. I don't see a link to like download demo or anything like that. I do know that I think I have a key if somebody wants to play it. I have access to it, but I think I also have a key. And I talked about maybe giving it away. It says not available for me, at least. Get instant access and start playing, get involved with it as it develops, blah, blah, blah. Let's see when it comes out. Release date May 24. Huh, that's weird. Why don't I? Maybe because I already have it.
I don't know. I'm looking at the same page and I don't see an option to just
because I have Worlds Adrift Alpha on. Maybe that's why I can't do anything with it. But apparently it's on Steam now. That's a new thing. I don't think it was on Steam before. I think I downloaded the client. I'm not sure, but that's definitely something to look into. I know they restarted their beta up again. They have these series of closed betas. I saw somebody playing it the other day, so I knew that it had come into like play again, so to speak. But I just don't really like it because that whole thing about somebody being able to jack anything I've done. I want to have a non-PvP environment because I'm a bitch. So, if that helps anybody, I say those things because I'm like, if that helps them to like make up whatever in their mind of why I don't want to do PvP, fine with me. I don't give a shit. The reality is I've had my fill of PvP stuff. I don't really like that type of gameplay anymore. So I just don't, and if that means I'm a bitch, fine, I'm a bitch. I don't give a fuck. So, Yeah, but it's a neat game. It's a neat game. I had fun like building like a skycraft or whatever, a sky airship. And as long as they fix some of the technical problems of like, the lagging and falling off your ship because of lagging and just some of those
Upside
things.
down turret.
Upside down turret's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. You could put it on, you could put guns all over your skyship. I think it would probably be really fun for people that like building and exploring sky islands and kind of like finding stuff. And there's like, there's a little bit of crafting. Their crafting system, it's definitely lacking. It's the last time I played it. But it could be very fun. It could be very, very fun. So if you're into that kind of like survival / crafting / exploration / you can be a dick to other players, then it's definitely a neat little experience to play. Worlds Adrift. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are we done?
Yeah, that's all my topics.
Possibly.
Really.
Sweet. I'm going to get rid of that last topic I had because it's not that important. Drift on Steam. And let's call it a stream. Thanks for joining Count, because he's not here, but I'm going to say that anyways.
Since he's not been here for a while, you can find Count Chocula on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Yeah, he's followed the Count, I believe, on Twitch.
Right.
And on YouTube, he's Count Chocula. I believe he's followed the Count on Twitter as well. Actually, is he Count Chocula on Twitch? He's followed the Count on Twitter. That's what it is. On Twitter, he's followed the Count, but on Twitch, he's, I think, Count Chocula. Yeah, he's just plain straight up Count Chocula on Twitch.
Yeah, Count Chocula on Twitch.
On Twitch.
Just hit us up, B3 GamingCast, Twitter, whatever. We'll tell you where to go. Mm-hmm. So, then, Volts, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yeah, 109 volts or volts, I believe. It's hard to tell anymore.
I tried to switch my username to just simply volts, but it seems like it's not everywhere I can do that. So
you got variable face masks, so no one can track you down. So yeah. All right.
Well, you can just simply either search for 109 volts or volts.
Yeah.
On YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Tumblr.
Yeah. There you go. Phil, of course.
Yo.
Philemon Grundy.
Yep.
So
find me on YouTube. Sometimes on Twitter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
You can find my artwork mainly on Tumblr.
If you go to b3gamingcast.com, it's got a list of the cast members that have been here or have been here in the past and what episodes to find them on as well. So that helps. That's an easy way to do it. But also look up names. Watusi piped in there for a minute there. Thanks for hanging out for a bit, dude. And, of course, Wobotron's a contributor once in a while here. And, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. And Graham couldn't be here because Graham has Graham things and Graham Cracker. So
life.
Yeah. Lots of stuff going on, everybody. But, that's about it. I'm Janitor247. That's about that. And thanks for listening to the podcast. Thanks for downloading. I'm tired. But it's going to be community gaming night, so we're going to go there now. But I'm shutting off the stream now. I can't see.
So we can easily segment it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to take a little break. But, I'm going to stop this stream.
See ya.
All right.
Bye.
Later.